Yo, what's going on, my people? Recipe is live, back again on Tuesdays, hosted by myself, Phil Lindsay. It's the day after Raw, but it's not going to be a formal Raw review. But obviously, we watched the show, so we're going to talk about it. But we got some other stuff we want to talk about as well. And as always, you guys can help dictate the conversation too in the live chat. But we're back in the Tuesdays. But firstly, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, helps out a lot. Get your super chats in, and if you like what we do and you wanna support us, become a member. We've got lots of cool stuff coming this month on the member side of the channel. But yeah, man. Firstly, Phil, my brother, back again. How you been doing, man? It's been a minute. Muted. Muted. There
All
you
right.
go.
Yeah, I'm good. A little busy, but we're good.
Good, man. Good. Busy. We're all busy these days, man. Closing on the end of the year. Things to do. Christmas round the corner. It's creeping up on me, man. It's creeping up on me. But yeah. Alright, so today, I want to talk about, obviously Raw was last night. Some weekend highlights too. EO versus Mayu in Marigold. NXT had a PLE. I need to talk about that Hardys match, bro. Like, I'm sorry. I need to talk about this Hardys match at some point. Not gonna go on too long about it, but I need to highlight it, bro, because that's love of the business right there. But also I want to talk about something I've seen a lot of over the past week or so, and that's this Io Sky and Mercedes Moné is rest of the year. Let's just say rest of the year cases. So we're gonna get to that. But
Mhm.
first, let's talk about Raw. Actually, no, that teaser, bro, that WWE have been running all weekend. It turns out to just be a WrestleMania 42
Shoes.
promo. Shoes, teasing shoes, bro. Hella shoes, boots. All these people guessing. Is it Santos Escobar? Is it his? Are they doing like vignettes for his big comeback with a group? Is it Gunther coming back? Some people even speculating like Jericho and Andrade. Like, people always go crazy with these things, and that's exactly what WWE wanted, bro. So unfortunately, it did work for them, just for the payoff to be a WrestleMania 42 promo, which was about 35 seconds, included Brock Lesnar in it, which nobody wanted to see, and they dropped the poster, the official WrestleMania 42 poster of the guys, the top stars sitting around the poker table, and it's well, just what a waste of time that was, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I think two things are pretty glaring from that vignette and the poster. Uh, just given the year and how much the vision was like all over Raw all this year, it was
Mm.
glaring that like Heyman's there, but like nobody else is there from that group. Like, understandably, Rollins isn't there, which is a shame. But like nobody else there from that
Just
group. It's
slow
kind of
Bron
crazy.
Breakker in there, bro.
Like
He's the
and
future of WrestleMania, apparently, Phil. That's what Paul Hout tells me on Mondays.
yeah, and then like we've got the same kind of crop of guys, like you said, Brock Lesnar in there, even though we really moved no needle for them at WrestlePalooza. We're still just gonna stubbornly stick to pushing Brock in you guys' face. Cody, of course, Roman Reigns, CM Punk. This company's got an age problem.
Yeah, it's nothing new.
Yeah,
It's nothing new.
everybody in that picture is 40 and above.
Yep,
Um,
that's how
and
it is, bro.
no women there, which is kind of
Mm-mm.
a choice. But that was kind of my takeaway from it as well. If you want to overanalyze it, they've got to start pushing some young guys, man.
Yeah, bro. It's like Rhea Ripley is just kind of like
Bro,
promotional material
one of the biggest
dream,
start. Yeah,
And it's just like, what? She don't know how to play poker.
yeah,
What we doing, bro?
one
You
of the
know?
biggest stars they have, man. I mean, I keep going back to one of the biggest artists in the world. Just mentioned her in an interview. This was free publicity for you. Drake talked about her in an interview, and then you got to WrestlePalooza. Drake had the theme song for that song. I mean, that show, and then what? Like, you gotta. I would figure that you should be pushing something for Rhea by WrestleMania season.
Oh, you can't trust them this year, even though obviously WrestleMania 2026 is next year, but they're starting the promo now, and this is what we're talking about. But this year, bro, I can't trust them with nothing. Just saying quickly to Phil before we went live, bro. Like you're going into 2025. You look at some of those cards that they were holding going into 2025, bro. They had everything in their hands, and look how the year has played out. Yeah, I'm sure they've made loads of money, financial successes, rare, but like we as fans, we don't care about all that stuff. We care about the quality of product, the directions that's played, like our favourites are going in and stuff like that. Direction the company's going in, youth movements and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? But like it's been terrible on all of those fronts, bro. So like I said,
Yeah.
and all the cards they were holding, you know, and even if you completely eradicate, let's just pretend this isn't John Cena's final year, bro, which is impossible to do because it's taken up so much of, you know, I mean, what WWE has been this year. But even taking away that, bro, it's just been they've failed us, they failed the people this year, bro. They failed the people, I think. So,
Yeah.
um, pretty
Um,
comfortable saying that in October. I know it's the end of October, but you know, I don't think there's anything they're gonna do in November, December to change my mind, bro. So
yeah, creatively, I wanted more out of this year for them. Of course, like you said, they're probably doing incredible business, like the Netflix deal and then the ESPN deal. They're
yeah,
doing
of
very
course.
well in terms of like ticket sales and merch sales and all these other things. But I don't know, the product has just been so boring for most of the year, and I think that this advertisement for WrestleMania is more of the same. Um, I think that they desperately need to shake things up and do something different.
Well, they've been needing to do that for a minute, you know. They've
Yeah,
got that age. They've got that age and that top crop of guys. They've got these people who are kind of look like they can be the next ones to break through, but it feels like we're just getting told to wait because they're either too
yeah,
young or whatever. And you know, Tempest and Sat spoke about it over the weekend. If you haven't watched their show, and it's just kind of missing the boat on a lot of people. Like they spoke a lot about Drew, and Drew's not even obviously who we're talking about because Drew's like he's starting to get up there age wise, and even his body, the injuries are piling up on. You know what I mean? He's been a top guy before. Blah blah blah. We're talking about the Bron Breakers, the Jacob Fatus, who's now unfortunately out. You know. Obviously, ones for the future like Obafemi and stuff like that. You know, they've got people. They've got the players, bro. It's just they're just holding off. I don't know how much of it is politics. I don't know how much of it is just straight up the creative, not having the belief in being able to step away from these old heads like your Brock Lesnar's and your Roman Reigns's, and of course, like Roman especially should be still like figured significantly into what you do. But like the over reliance on it. Okay, like we went into this year knowing, like I know Roman Reigns is main event in the night of WrestleMania, bro.
yes,
Like that is happening. Like you can run from it, you can dread it, all these things. You can look forward to it, you can be excited for it. It's happening. It's probably
yeah,
gonna happen next year as well.
yes.
You know,
We're
so
we're
it's
we're at what, like six in a row at this point?
probably more than that, bro.
Well, he's
Probably
got,
more than that.
I believe it's six in a row, right? I don't know the exact number, but yeah,
Because
already
he was
has the
main
record.
event in them pre-tribal chief. You know what I'm saying? He
Yeah,
was
but
doing
he
it. The
he
one with Brock where he got busted open and didn't win. You know, that was recent, but not. You know, that was probably like 7 years ago, wasn't it?
yeah, he missed a year because he had to take a year off for the leukemia.
Of course, of
So
course.
I think it's maybe like a year, maybe two that he didn't headline, but then from there on, it was maybe like five in a row, and then like six in a row.
Bro, it's come on, man. It's and I love Big Rome, bro. Like this isn't Big Rome slander at all. It's just kind of like, is this what we're still doing? You know, like, is this? Like, if the roster was bleak, you know, if they had New Japan's roster right now, then I could hear it. Maybe,
Yeah.
you know. I say if it was new, say if New Japan kept Okada, yeah, and they were still just running him every Wrestle Kingdom main event. Like I could hear it because that roster's depleted, bro. You know, and it's like Naito's gone, Kota's gone, Osprey's gone. You know, Shingo and Ishii aren't getting any younger. You know, Jay White's gone. You know, like I can hear it. But WWE, I don't look at them like, oh man, who are the next guys gonna be? Where are they coming from? Like, bro, they've got talented guys. They just need they just need to be rocket strapped or whatever the term you want to use. Well, okay, WrestleMania main events.
Yeah,
Obviously, we know what this past year's were: Cody and John, and Roman in the triple threat. Roman versus Cody the year before that.
two both nights. Main
Yeah,
event both
both
nights.
nights, both. um,
Um,
39 Roman Cody.
Brock at
38
38.
Roman Brock.
Yeah.
37 Roman Edge Bryan.
Hmm.
36. 36 was the one he missed, didn't it? Yeah, it was. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was.
So the WrestleMania 37, I think that's like his first WrestleMania as the tribal chief character, and so from then on, it was like six in a row as the tribal chief. And then I think he missed 36 and 35, right?
Yeah, because the women main event is 35
Yeah.
with
So
Ronda and Becky and Charlotte.
yeah,
So in the past, what, like 10 years? What? So since 2014, Roman Reigns has main evented what? All but two WrestleManias.
so it's I think it's 11 total.
uh, I mean, that sounds about right because he got the double. I can't believe he main evented both nights that one year. That's mad. Obviously, Cody did as well, so I guess he's just as guilty. But it's just
Yeah.
like, and I know
But I
the
mean,
Dwayne factor and all that. But come on, bro. Like, what were
yeah.
the other? What else could have main evented night one that year? Because like, say they opened with Dwayne, and what else could have WrestleMania night one, WrestleMania XL night one.
Nothing really. I
Rhea,
mean,
Rhea
Roman.
Becky,
Yeah, Roman was the biggest
Jimmy
character in the
versus
company.
Jay.
So yeah, that was basically it. And then and then when Rock came back, that was the biggest thing going into WrestleMania season. So
Even on the Sunday, they weren't really. Bailey and Io could have been like a pipe dream main event, maybe.
yeah, but they weren't gonna. They
But
weren't
that was also like they put that on night two. You know what I'm saying? But that could have been a night one main event, really, if they really wanted to like make people happy. You get me? But
I mean,
obviously, Dwayne to force, bro.
yeah.
So
I mean,
I'm not saying it should or shouldn't have.
winning the Royal Rumble is supposed to give you the chance to headline WrestleMania. Bailey did win the Royal Rumble, so maybe, but they don't really treat the women's Rumble that way.
Don't know why. They
It
should
should.
start. They should start, especially after this year, bro. Especially after this year. It's been the women's year, man. It's
Is
been the women's year. No
this
question.
year heading into Saudi Arabia at Royal Rumble?
Well, you know. Let's slow down, maybe I'll get far ahead of myself, but shout out to women is the point.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was they were teasing it. They were teasing and teasing and teasing. Like I said, everyone was speculating what he was going to be. It ended up just being some very, very mid. Like I was saying this as well to Phil before we went live. Like, it was literally 35 seconds, bro. Like, I thought it was going to be some big elaborate, like, because when it started to leak yesterday through the reports and stuff, that like it's just going to be a WrestleMania 42 promo. I at least thought it was going to be like some big, like I said, elaborate 3-4 minute thing. It's like, nah, bro, you're getting 35 seconds. And just hold that. You can hold that. That's what your 3 days of speculation deserves, isn't it? Like, it's just, I don't even think they like their fans, bro. I just think, yeah, I don't know. But, yeah. Raw was last night. Actually, let's go through. Razor's been always supporting, sending a few super chats and that, so we're gonna get to them. We'll do that before we dive into. I don't know. It's not a Raw review, like I said. We'll talk about it though. Razor 499. Appreciate you, brother. Phil and Monty on Tuesdays equals fire emoji. Razor likes it. Ibu thinks Saturday night main event Jay versus CM Punk has no finish. I might agree with him. WrestleMania 42 poster minus the Beast furthers Razor's WrestleMania 42 agenda, which, if you don't know by now, people, is Cody versus CM Punk. So, yeah, minus the Beast, it does further your agenda, bro. I'm glad you're happy about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I still think that's the match. I think that should be the big match for Cody this year. I don't know who else it would be if it's not CM Punk. Maybe the Roman rematch, but I don't think we really need that.
Yeah, I'm here for the Roman rematch, but I definitely like Cody Punk is like the one thing I think I really want to see in WWE at the minute, to be honest.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see. He also says Razor is becoming more of a film buff and watching Gabe ROH 02 to oh 06. February 2020, AEW Dynamite's Mox versus Jericho, Cody versus MJF, and the GOAT Elite Tag plus MJF versus Punk. 89 WCW, New Japan 16-17, 2025 Wrestling. Is that a snoozing emoji? I think it is. Except for the Queen EO. Hey man, 2025. It's been a year, bro. It's been one of the years of all time. You know, that's where we're at. A lot of the stuff that you're watching, bro, I fuck with it, man. You know, especially, bro, going back and watching those old AEW shows, it's like it's mad, you know, because you don't realize how long ago it was and like
Yeah.
how different things were and the vibe and everything, bro. And like you watch those first few episodes, it's like Tony's still like ironing out creases in his the way he does things now, and of course he's only been a booker for what 6 years. You know, he's no, you know what I mean. He's no Vince Senior or Vince Junior or anyone like that, or you know Bill Watts or anyone. He ain't been in this game forever, or one of the Jarretts. You know, he's still learning on the job, but you know it's super evident in those first episodes, man. And it's kind of like now it's kind of fun to watch, isn't it? You know. Because they're just trying shit, bro. there's some Nitro elements, there's some WWE elements, there's some, you know, PWG or whatever the fuck. There's just like it's just they're just finding the feet, bro. It's kind of cool to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, as you say, Razor 2025 hasn't been Punk years. His pops keep getting loud. Crowd reactions will be interesting when Punk versus QB1. Razor's 2 5 plus Big Dwayne. Big Dwayne. Is Big Dwayne coming back? I don't know about that. Jay is his boy, but is that a ninja? So that nigga Punk looks so disinterested. I mean, I don't know, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to care about this Punk J match, but I just don't. I agree with you, Boo. I do not think it's going to be a finish. I think it's going to be a DQ finish. I just don't see Punk winning on Saturday Night Main Event. I just
We
don't
can't
see
have
it.
we can't have nice things, bro. Like,
I just don't see it, man. And
that's the only reason why I think that it's not happening because it's just like we just can't
yeah,
have nice things, you know. Everyone's
I
like,
just don't see it. And then, like, if you're telling me this year long thing you've been doing with Punk, like the way he finally wins the championship, the way you close the chapter on all of the stuff with Rollins all years, him beating Jay Uso, I just don't buy that.
I don't know, it's just kind of obviously you know Seth was world champion and he had his thing with Punk going. It was always gonna be like a through thread of whatever they were gonna be doing next, you know. And it's
Yeah.
just like, you know, Seth goes down. It's unfortunate. Boo hoo. Blah blah blah. Let's just put the belt on Punk, bro. Fuck it. Let's or Braun Breaker. You know, like,
I
and it
think,
just
yeah,
feel and
yeah.
you know do
It
something
should have been
cool with
Brian
it.
in this
Like
match.
give Punk a nice little cool run. You know, like just or let Braun Breaker elevate him to the next level. You know, which I'm sure is still in their plans as reports suggest. But you know, why not just do it? Apparently, there was something about like the audience isn't big enough for the Peacock exclusives now to do such a crowning moment for Bron Break, and it's just like, bro,
So you want me to believe it's not a big enough audience to do a crowning moment for Brian, but it is for Punk? I don't buy that.
yeah,
I yeah.
apparently.
I do not buy that, buddy. I think Braun is going to interfere in this match in some way and cause a DQ.
I don't know, man. There's so many different factors on it on like the J side as well, but anyway, Razor 499. How long does QB1 have blah? How long does QB1 have as Fed's number one babyface? Razor doesn't like Drew's material versus Cody. Corporate Cody is lame dialogue. Oscars Oscars need Rock and fuck shit up. I mean, yeah, man. How long does Cody has Fed's number one babyface? I think we've still got a lot of legs on it, to be honest, bro. Because like, who else is he gonna be? Like maybe like I don't know, Bron Breakker or something, like one of these guys that we talk about, your Bron Breakkers, your Jacob Fatus, and that. But it's like I can't. They don't fit the same kind of mold that Cody does, bro. Like Cody is like, whether you love him or hate him, yeah, it's he is just a perfect fit as a top WWE guy. It was so obvious as soon as we saw him come back. Like
Mm-hmm.
everyone in at the top there buys into it, bro. Like I was still like Cody went to WWE when Vince was still there, and Vince basically seen him the exact same way that Triple H has seen him since. Do you know what I mean? Remember, man was doing countdown to Cody and that, bro. Like, what
Yeah.
are we talking about? Like, just the way he carries himself, the way that the young audience adores him, fucking the suits, well spoken, you know, white boy with blonde hair and that. Like, bro, he's just like the perfect WWE
Yeah.
top guy for them, for what they want, you know,
Yeah.
as a big commercial family fucking business. Do you know what I mean? It just works. So until he starts to like deteriorate, or say if the fans turn on him because of like bad booking and stuff, you know, or maybe they just get tired of him. But I think he's still got a lot of legs, a few more years at least, man. Because
He's still the guy to me. I don't think anybody else looks nearly as popular as him. I think it's very telling that they've done a bunch of the stuff that they did with Roman that people rejected, and they've accepted it when they've done it with Cody. Like they've kind of give him a lot of the big legend matches where he gets over and he wins, and the crowd hasn't rejected it yet. So I think that they've got to run with this as long as they can.
yeah, man, it's like it makes me laugh when people do the comparison with Roman, because I think it's so redundant at this point. But people will be like, "Oh, Roman still gets bigger pops." Bro, because he shows up once every couple of months. Like, obviously, like, the novelty of Roman showing up, people are happy that they caught the Raw where Roman actually shows up to. So, of course, people explode. People still pop big for Brock Lesnar because of the fucking surprise element. But I think it's like, when I remember, like, people pop huge for Brock on the pay-per-view, and I remember, like, on the SmackDown after they announced him for like a Raw or something, like they announced him for something like with the graphic and that, and like the crowd was barely moved, bro. Like, they don't care, you know. But
No.
like, you catch them by surprise and the novelty of it, like they'll pop for fucking anything, bro. But that's not to dismiss what Roman is as a babyface now. Like, he's a huge superstar, bro. But the novelty does factor in to the receptions that both people get, you know. But Roman's part time, bro. So it's like, what's the point of trying to cling on to the idea that he's the face and the top guy of the company and that? Like, he's not around, bro. Like, what are we doing? Like, what he does is cool. Do you know what I mean? Like, he can have his little 6 matches a year, if that. You know, just show up every however 6 weeks or whatever, get the big pop, do an angle, set up your pay-per-view match, and fuck off again. Like, you can do that, bro. You're a big star, you're an attraction, and man still love you in it, but you're not that guy anymore. You know, because you're chilling at home. You're a family man, bro. We respect it, you know. Cody's dragging his family on the road, you know, dragging them in the bus, you know, making the towns. So Cody's
Yeah.
the guy, man.
Yeah. I
Cody
mean,
is the guy.
I don't really understand people trying to do Roman still gets bigger pops. Yeah, you spent 4 years telling us that Roman was the guy. He was on top as champion for the guy for 4 years. Yeah, he's gonna keep getting big pops, man. But that doesn't mean put the championship back on him and put the company back on his back again. Like I don't know if the idea of that is as interesting as people think it is.
Yeah, big Roman. I'm sure Roman still sees himself as the man. You get me?
Of course.
'Cause he's Roman Reigns, bro, and obviously as a talent, you know, he should have that kind of ego about him. Look what he's done, you know. So,
Yeah.
you know, if we're being real about it, it's like, bro, if Roman wanted to be like, you know what, fuck it, I love this business, you know, fuck the family, I love this business, this is my wrestling family, that part of my family is what I'm locked in on, you get me? Leave the wife and kids at home, and I'm doing 52 weeks a year, blood. You know, then I'd be like, okay, cool. You know what I mean? Maybe Roman's the guy of this company again, you know, but that ain't happening, I don't think, so. You
Yeah,
know.
I mean the guy's still blockbuster. You're still gonna sell big WrestleMania matches on him.
Yeah, man.
He's still a big marquee name, but I don't think he's the guy now that you want to have like all year round. Like even the year when, like right after WrestleMania 39, and Cody didn't win, and most of us thought like that was a crazy decision to not have Cody go over. Cody
Mm-hmm.
did most of the pay per views. He was doing all of the house shows. They were selling everything off of Cody, not Roman.
100%, bro. Like all that mad house show business that they were doing, it was all Cody, bro. And like you said, like Roman, like going into that Mania, coming out of that Mania, it was like Cody was basically positioned as the top guy, but Roman was the guy with the belt, and that so Cody was
Yeah,
like the uncrowned champion. Do you know what I mean? And that's what it was, bro. Then like, let's be real, all Roman wanted to do was hold on to that belt for a hot minute so he could do his thing with Jay at SummerSlam, which unfortunately was terrible. You get me? I think Dave give it like 1.5 stars, bruv. You know what I mean? And I'm not. That's not the Bible. It's Dave Meltzer's rating, but the match was terrible, bro. And
yeah,
I was devoed. I was absolutely devastated at how bad that match was. You know, because I was full out like, I never kid myself when it comes to Jey Uso, and I still love the guy. You get me? And it's just like sometimes you just want the stars to align, like they did in Sammy and KO against the Usos that night at
hmm
WrestleMania. You get me? Like so, like Jay's good enough for the stars to align every now and again. You get me? And it just didn't. And that was like that was his big match. You get me? Like he just went against Roman, just pinned him at Money in the Bank in England. Um, and then they did the great promo segments as well, where Jay gets the belt and he holds it up, and everyone's fucking with it, and I'm just like, please, just like I just need
yeah.
a little 3.5 stars, but that's all I need. And
When you just
it
look
was
at the
terrible, bro. I know what Roman got hurt or something in it, didn't he? He like hurt his leg or
yeah,
something in it.
yeah.
So
When you just look at the booking for that as well, just the odd decision of getting that great reaction from the segment where Jay finally turned on Roman, and he has the great line of "You're out, and so am I." And they get the super kick, and the Usos are officially out. And then you just put Jimmy back in for no reason. Jimmy turns on Jay at
that was
SummerSlam,
a
and I still
horrible
don't think that
finish,
worked.
man.
And then
It
that led
didn't.
to WrestleMania match that nobody really liked. Like, why
It
did they
didn't.
do that?
It didn't. It didn't. It didn't. The Usos should have still, at this point now, should have never have turned on each other. And like this,
No.
you see, like this bubbling. You see this bubbling that they're doing now. That's
Yeah.
like this should be the first of that. Whereas like now we've already seen them go back at it, and if anything, it's killed our interest because of how bad the match at Mania and that was. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, they should have just that shouldn't have been the finish at SummerSlam. That shouldn't have been their story going into Mania. And if anything, the tension should only now be building now that Jay obviously has reached heights Jimmy hasn't, and you know what I mean. His ego's going all mad and that, and you know what I mean. Like you can actually do it now, and they are doing it now. But like I said, we've already seen it. So what can you say?
Yeah. I'm sorry, man. Get grab the tag rope, man. I'm ready. Get back to the Usos as a tag team.
I've been saying that for like too long. Too long now. GMB 199. How would an Obafemi and Punk promo go? I don't know, because it's like how would Punk? Because obviously Oba can talk on it, but it's
hmm
like how would Punk tackle that as a promo, live promo? Do you know what I mean? Like he's a fascinating one Oba is, bro, because obviously he's so like. He's Nigerian Thanos. Look at him, you get me. But like he'll also come out in like a shirt and trousers and that. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll come out all swagged up, and like he can actually talk. Like he's not just like some big mumbling giant. You get me? So I don't know. I don't know how CM Punk would approach it though. Um, what do you think, Phil? I would CM Punk tackle that one.
I don't know what your angle would be at this point. Like you got to establish what Oba is going to do on the main roster, what his character is, what are his wants, what are his motivations. Because until you do that, I don't know where you go with that.
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it? Obviously, we all hope that he just comes in and just runs through the roster, bro. Like that's what I'm hoping. I even want to see him come through and just immediately like smoke Cody Rhodes or something of that level, like where it's like, whoa, or you just do the thing of like similar to what like Jacob Fatu was doing, where he's just kind of running through the roster, but you actually see it through and actually like elevate him in a timely manner instead of like Jacob. It was like he was here, and it's like they kind of brought him down a little bit, and it's like now he's just kind of like he was middling a lot for this year, and now he's hurt, and it's like fucking hell, you know. But
Yeah.
always got to be making big impressions, bruv. Big impressions. So I look forward to it though. I'm also terrified of it, bro, because it's sort of shit that could like kill my love for the business, you know. Like,
I, yeah. I am curious. Like, where does NXT go once Oba and Trick and those guys move on? Because, like, of course, like Ricky's a guy you can make the face of that brand in the meanwhile, but there aren't that many other credible contenders. Like, you've got maybe Ethan moving up from the North American title run, but
he should be
other
on the
than
main
that,
roster as well. But
like like Javon, of course, like you could push Javon for it, but other than that, it's a little bit barren down there for the men.
no, it is, bro, 100%. But the thing is, to your point, is NXT is like a cockroach at this point, bro. Like the people that watch it every week and like it, they like it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it don't matter if Ricky's the champ, Trick's the champ, Ethan Page is the champ. Like they're locked in for Tuesdays. You know what I mean, on CW Network, bro. So it's like I don't watch it every single week, but I still keep kind of like sometimes, most of the time, I will put it on and just kind of have it on as background as I'm scrolling or doing something else on my laptop, you know. But yeah, it's not like you say that like it's not like the show is built around any of those people because that's just
Yeah.
not how NXT flows. Like it's almost like a part sitcom, part wrestling, and it's got all the segments, and it's like. But it's good because you can actually invest in people all up and down the card. You know what I mean? That's kind of why people have kept investment in Tatum Paxley for so long, even though she spent a lot of the past like 18 months, 2 years doing fucking nothing. You know, because
Yeah.
they always give you a little bit of something, and there's always a little bit of lore with every single person, even the jobbers and stuff, because that's kind of what NXT is developmental people brushing up on their like backstage promo skills and stuff like that, angles and all these things. So everyone's doing a bit of everything, you know. So like, yeah, any one person getting called up, to be fair, it's set up in a way where it's like it wouldn't be that much of a loss. Now if there was a massive loss of like Trick, Ethan, Blake Monroe, Jordan. Do you know what I mean? If they all fucking got called up, then obviously there'd probably be some problems and rating dips, you know. But I think it would still survive, you know, like because like I say, it's cockroach at this point, man. The people that like it, man, and it will survive the rating purge that Dave's been reporting about the past month or so.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the women, of course, like the women's division, even if they lose like two or three people, they're fine. But like the main title picture, that's where I would say there's some concern there. If like once Oba and some of the other guys move up, like who's really left?
I don't know, man. They'll just, I don't, bro. You want what they'll do? They'll just like Sean will just push. What's his name? What's his name, bro? Saquon Sugars from Dark State. He was the one that everyone was hyping from the Indies, who's in Dark State but hardly gets any real chances, even though Dark State are all over the TV and having matches with the Hardys and that. You know what I mean? But you don't really see a lot of Sugars, you know, which I think's been unfortunate because when they do all the promo packages and stuff like that, like he's clearly the best, like most charismatic, best promo and stuff like that, and he can work, and it's like, what are we waiting on? Do you know what I mean? So, and I'm sure there's a few other sleepers in NXT as well. Do you know what I mean? Of some of these young guys that they could just take to the next level. So, you know, we'll see. But yeah, man, NXT gonna survive, man. But yeah, Raw. We've kind of loosely spoke about Punk and Jay. Saturday night main event. Now the face-to-face promo. Show opens with Jay's entrance. A lot of yeeting. Felt like more than usual. They're milking it now, bro. You know, they've been milking it for a minute, but they're milking like I said. Normally, a few minutes of yeeting, but this felt super long. And then they still did the re-up thing, like they still reloaded it, and he did it again, and he was like, okay. Now, the people yeet with Jay for like 5 whole minutes. And then as soon as his music stopped, as soon as his music stops, to start chanting for CM Punk like immediately as soon as the music stops. And Jay just goes in his promo saying, a lot of people got a lot of things to say to him, but it's just him, Oos, 4 letters, 1 word. And then Punk's music hits. He comes out, super over. He takes the piss and reloads Cult of Personality, reads that up. And I guess about the gist of this promo was Punk saying to him, like, yo, Jay, I know you've got it in you, but how bad do you really want it? Do you know what I mean? Like, when the bell rings, how bad are you really are you gonna go to the depths that I want to go to? Because I need this championship as well. And Jay basically says, like, he switches it up on Punk and says, like, yo, I see through you. I see Punk's game. I see you trying to turn the people on me and you be the good guy and stuff. Well, screw you. I'm gonna show you who the best in the world is on Saturday night's main event. And that was it, really. I think we got more yeeting than actual promo time. I swear to God, like, Punk had an actual promo, It's not like he was in and out of there. He spoke for a couple of minutes. Jay responded, and I got out of there. I didn't think this needed to be some 25-minute segment.
No.
Like, it didn't. There isn't enough there to do that, do you know what I mean? But still, with all that yeeting, I thought it would have gone a bit, I thought it would have had a bit more depth to it, It was pretty straight to the point, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there is more meat on the bone for this story. I just don't think that they really got into it. I don't think, but that's why it's such an odd decision to go from something that was this really interesting angle of splitting up division, and then the next week go, nope, we're not going to go forward with that. We're going to go forward with Jay again. It's like, but everybody was talking about this thing over here. Why are we not moving forward with that? And don't get me wrong, there are interesting bits to this. You could do something interesting with this because, I mean, the easy story here is Jay Uso got the upset, won the Royal Rumble. Most people wanted Punk to win. I mean, even when we got WWE Unreal, we saw in that room, Punk was pitched as the winner until it got changed. And so you already have like this idea, like, all right, you got this upset. They gave you the ball to run with. And what did you do with it? You opened the show. You had a pretty middling title reign. Meanwhile, I main evented WrestleMania. You didn't main event. I did. I'm still Blockbuster. I'm still the guy. And I didn't think any of that was really addressed here.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, it was very straight to the point of, like, Punk basically just said, like, how bad do you want it? And Jay basically said, fuck you, I'm the best in the world. Like, that was it.
But I mean, I don't think Punk has gotten into that. I don't think he's really done anything controversial or anything that's like considered like what Punk is great at in any of these promos in a long time. He's been kind of in cruise control in a lot of these promos.
Yeah, he has, man. Definitely. So Saturday night's main event for the vacant World Heavyweight Championship. Phil, Ibu, according to Razor, believe that it will be finishing in, well, no finish, DQ or something. And I can see it, man. There's a lot of different factors. Like we were just saying, like we can't have nice things. Like, it's too nice to just simply let Punk just win this match and have a cool little run and wrestle people that we want to see him wrestle. You get me? Like, that's too much to ask from this company in 2025. Whereas on the J side of things, it's like you've got like the Jimmy factor. Like, that's obviously bubbling up to something, you know, whether it's a swerve or not. Like, it's gonna come to something. You've got like the Roman factor, in the sense of like, if Roman's got this idea that he wants to do some shit with Jay, then it's like they're probably putting the world title on him, and it like, you know that one. So it's like there's the Roman factor. Obviously, just the vision in general. There's just all these different factors that all could like play into this. That I think WWE, from what we've seen of them this year, they won't be able to resist. You know, like. So I now that I'm talking through it, I think I agree with you and Ibu, bro. I don't think this will be a simple just Punk wins or even just Jay just simply winning. Like, something could cost Jay. Like, Jay could have, you know what else I could see him doing as well? Like, Jay having the chance to like cheat and not do it and then lose. You know? Yeah. And it's like, I wasn't locked in. And Roman comes back and kind of gives him a side eye and that, like, and, like, so
Yeah.
There's a lot. I feel like there's a lot of ways it can go in it. So, and none of them are super clean. You know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't see Punk winning here, and I think the caveat I can give this of not doing a title change is you have so many other options where you could get a title change. You could get a title change in a Continental title match. You could get a title change in a women's match. Hopefully, we're finally doing something with Jade Tiffany here. We've done this match enough times where hopefully this is it. This is
Yeah,
the
they've
last
done the
time we're
big
doing this
angle.
match. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. I just don't see them putting the belt on Punk here. There's so many factors into it. I don't really believe them putting the title on him on Saturday Night Main Event. And I kind of just don't think Punk needs the title right now. I think the idea of the chase for Punk is so much more interesting now than him winning the belt, especially after SummerSlam. And you've got the report that Elimination Chamber is going to be in Chicago. I don't know. Do you put the belt on him now, or do you get all the way into next year, have him win the chamber, and set up a big match for him at WrestleMania?
I don't know. Anything, probably the latter option. They'll probably drag everything out. That's what they do, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, that's kind of what they do. They milk every hot angle or all that they know the people are like dying for the peak of, where here it would be like Punk winning the title again through, or whatever it may be, every time we've always got to wait an extra couple angles or an extra couple months or an extra match or like, it's so whatever the longest version is probably what they're gonna do. What else? What did you like on? What was your favorite thing on Raw, or what was your least favorite thing on Raw from last night?
I thought the main event was excellent.
Yes.
I really love seeing women's tag team wrestling get the spotlight that it did. Um, say what you will about the Charlotte return. I think that Charlotte has bounced back very well in this tag team with Alexa. I think that they've had some good matches so far. Um, the Bailey split personality Lyra storyline has been kind of all over the place, but I think that we got a really good match out of this. I did at
Hmm.
the end. They did enough to get me to second guess what is Bailey's angle when she stepped in the middle and was like, "Nope, nope, don't attack her. What are you guys doing? Get out of here." And for a brief second, I was like, "She gonna turn around and attack her herself?"
Yeah, it keeps you thinking. And I think at least to the credit, because I thought it was garbage that first like the split personality stuff. I feel like they've
Yeah.
kind of dialed it back a bit, you know.
Yes, they needed to.
Uh, and she still like touches her head and stuff, and it's still a little much, But like I said, they definitely dialed it back about a bit, and that's definitely it's helped at least my interest in that story. Because I love Lyra and Bailey, and I don't want to see Bailey doing like that video where she's like hearing the voices. I want to see Bailey doing that shit,
Mhm.
even if it's her idea, bro. Like, I don't want to see her doing that shit, bro. Like, I'm good, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that main event, bro. I've loved Charlotte's return. I'm a big Ashley fan, big Alexa fan. Charlotte, man, any, bro, they can do the dance, man. You know, give them the right occasion, give them the main event of Raw against two good wrestlers like this. They'll do the dance, bro. It's what they do. They're reliable, you know. And even Charlotte on this run, like it's the least like she don't do weird shit anymore, you know.
No.
She don't like the weird like sometimes. How do you talk about it? Because I don't know or anything. I don't want to get like parasocial with it. But sometimes when she was like the queen on top and very like you could in the way that she would wrestle, like you could almost tell that she was protective of her position and stuff,
Yes.
And she was very. There was almost times where she felt shielded, and that's where you would get like certain car wrecks, like the Nia Jax match that everybody remembers and stuff. You know what I mean? Where it was just kind of like it was just you get these awkwardness and these awkward things where like she may not like sell properly for something, or she gets or like there's a miscommunication on how
No.
or when she should bump. Do you know? Yeah, exactly. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's just like. Whereas in this, she feels like a lot more. She's just enjoying it, man. And she's like, we all know Charlotte's great, bro. She's a great wrestler. Big match of Charlotte. You know what I mean? We know Charlotte can get the business done. Alexa, I've always thought Alexa was kind of underrated in the ring. To be honest, obviously it got a bit spooky a couple of years ago when she was like very clearly disinterested. She's a mother now, things change, but I think she's been locked in on this run, almost surprisingly so.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised when Charlotte said before this that they're going for the record for the most defenses for any women's tag champions, and I was like, wait a minute, is it only like 8?
It can't be that many. It can't be that many.
Well, she said they're 2 away, and I I think
Well, it's
the
got to be
record,
then, yeah. It's got
yeah,
to
I
be
think the
about 8 or 9,
the
doesn't it?
record's probably got to be at least 6 or 7 if she, because I think last night was their 5th defense.
I think it 6 or 7.
Yeah,
So
so if they're 2 away, then I think 7 is the record.
yeah, that's not great, is it? They've had some great,
No, it's not. It isn't.
hilariously, they've had some great champions, and you just look at it on paper. You know what I mean? Like we had like Bailey and Sasha, obviously, the Kabuki Warriors. We got Charlotte and Alexa now.
Yeah.
There's been some other good ones over the years as well. In terms of just like the talents holding the belts on paper. When I say good, I'm not talking about how good the reigns ended up being and the opportunities they had with said reigns, but
Yeah.
yeah, man,
Um,
I fuck with it. I fuck.
yeah. Asuka is still great in this role as a heel. I think she's fantastic. The stuff with Kyrie is very funny. Um, I got a really good laugh with them airing the video package last night after the Goldberg stuff.
Yeah,
There's no way that was not intentional.
of course it
Even if
was.
it wasn't intentional, I refuse to believe it wasn't.
Look, they probably were gonna do a video package, but like the lengths they went to with this one felt like they were trying to clap back at it.
Yeah.
So
This
you
yeah.
know,
This definitely felt
Goldberg,
like, hey, oh, you didn't like that? Okay, we got some more for you. Um, which, hey, man, as a big Oscar fan, I was happy to see her get her flowers.
100%, man.
Very selfishly would really love to see her main event WrestleMania someday. I just don't see it happening. I think they've got their best chance of potentially doing it with where EO is and uh,
Mhm.
possibly getting
Maybe.
something like a triple threat, like EO versus Rhea
Yeah.
versus Oscar. But I don't know. That's what I
Mm.
kept thinking. Like if I was a devil on Triple H's shoulder, I'm like, hey, you know what Goldberg has never done? He's never main evented WrestleMania. Could give Oscar that accolade, and
Goldberg, man, doing the podcast rounds. He's like, oh, some girl beat my record. It's like some girl. He's like, they probably did it on purpose and that. Like, you always think someone's out to get him, bro. Always talks like somebody's out to get him. You know what I'm saying? That Bill Goldberg, and I like Goldberg. You get me? But always talks like somebody's out to get him, bro. But he never says anything too crazy about Bret Hart. And Bret Hart's always talking crazy
oh,
about him. And Goldberg will just be like, oh, well, it's a shame you just can't get over it. Like, he'll say some shit like that that's, like, very just kind of, like, chill. Like, but he's always like, he's always talking like somebody's out to get him, but he's never talking spicy about Bret Hart, who would probably happily, you know, end him. So
yeah,
I don't know about Goldberg, bro, but shout out Asuka, a decade of dominance as a video package was titled, and yeah, man, that's the future Hall of Famer right there, no question about it.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, she's been great on this run, man. I can't lie, bro. Like I used to talk with, I won't name any names and throw them under the bus, but I used to talk with one or two of my friends, like a couple years ago, bro. Like we thought it was over with Asuka, man. Like we thought it was over, man. Like she was out there looking a bit sluggish. She was whiffing a lot of her strikes and that. And obviously WWE kind of weren't putting like world titles and that, and she weren't really doing super interesting stuff. I thought it was over, bro, at one point, and I'm glad I was wrong, because like I
yeah,
love Asuka, I always have loved Asuka, but got a bit spooky. It was looking dark a couple years ago, you get me?
yeah. I think
But yeah, she's on a great run right now, man.
yeah, I think unfortunately she had that big knee injury, and I think she came back a lot more motivated. I think that helped. Um,
Mhm.
and she just kind of is better as a heel, man. I think when you give her a heel run, you give her something to sink her teeth into. Um, she's always kind of more interesting.
Yeah, she's great, man. Like I said, Hall of Famer, legend of the business. Observer Hall of Famer as well, no doubt, in my opinion. When it's all said and done. What else was good on Raw, bro? Speaking of Jimmy and Jay, that Jimmy and Jay, their interactions last night, I did like them. I like the way Jimmy just rolled up on Jay and was like, "Yo, bro, what the fuck was you on? You know, like what was all that about?
You
I
know,
was helping you out. Like he fully he pressured him. You get me?" And Jay was like, "Hey, man." He had to go back to him. And Jay was like, "Hey, man, I hear what you're saying, but
just shrugged them off.
It's like-
Hey, I do love that he basically waited a week. Like, hey, what happened? Like, we're supposed to believe that they didn't have a conversation at all for an entire week.
yeah,
He
bro, that's
hasn't
how they
seen him for
played
a
it.
week.
That's what I mean. Jimmy rolled up on him, bro. Like, he, yeah, man. So shout out Jimmy. I've got a lot of time for Jimmy, so I think he's been pretty good this year as well. You know.
Yeah. I'm a big Jimmy truther. I think Jimmy is my
Same.
favorite of the two. And I think if, it's always timing in wrestling. And I think Jay got over at the right time. He was really the main
100%.
character for the Bloodline stuff for a while. And he's been in the best shape of his career. So it just seems like everything paid off for him at the right time. But I've always been a big Jimmy fan.
Yeah, I've never pledged allegiance to either Uso. You know, like when they were on that, like, the all-time tag run, which, comes to WrestleMania and stuff, like, I thought Jay was the better half of those matches, like the work he was putting in, because Jim was looking to be, get a bit of a belly and that, you get me, like, shout out Jimmy Uso, though, every time. And then, obviously, Jimmy's injured, blah, 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 whatever, however things unfold there. Jay obviously launches into another level of superstardom, and I do think for about a year or so now, Jimmy in ring has looked better than Jay. So I'm like I said, I've never really had a favorite Uso, and I did like I said when they were on that great tag run, and people were first talking about the breakup or whatever. I was like, yeah, Jay is probably the better half of this team, but now I'd say it's Jimmy, even though they're not a team at the minute. But we'll see. I'm with you though, Phil. I want them to get back together, man.
It's
That's
too many
the
matches
angle I
that
want
I
to
want.
see, innit?
There's too many matches now that I want them to get. Like, you've got Motor City Machine Guns in this company. That's a match I want. Usos versus Motor City Machine Guns. You've got the Lucha Bros separated for some reason. That's still a big match I want. Lucha Bros versus the Usos. Like,
Ray's tagging with everybody, bro. Ray's tagging
I
with
don't get
everybody,
it.
not
Man,
Penta. It's crazy, bro. It's like on purpose.
it just feels like they're playing in our face. Like, man, look at this tag team with Ray. No, I don't want to look at this tag team with Ray. Put it with his brother. Stop.
Yeah, bro. It's like, what are we trying to? What are they doing? Like, I don't know, bro. Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, what are we? What are they doing? Like, why can't they
Get
just
it,
be
bro.
like, draft you to Raw and put you with fucking your brother, bro? Like, what are we doing? Literally one of the best tag teams of the past like decade, bro. And it's just like, what? Anyway. Speaking of Penta though, Penta and Rusev, I thought they had a good match, man. It ended in a DQ though. But last night in Anaheim, bro, like they had a great crowd, man. Like the crowd was really like one of the big indicators for me is how much they bite on the heels.
Yeah.
Like how much of the winning, because everyone's got a pot for their favorites when the music hits and shit. But it's like how much attention are they paying to the match and how much heat are they giving people and stuff like that. And they were giving Rusev really good heat. Some of his best heat, unfortunately, is through the ad break.
Yeah.
He had great heat during the ad break, man. And then, and yeah, it's kind of carried on after they came back. Penta works his comeback and stuff, and it's really building to a good match. They did some big false finishes. Penta kicks out of a match kick from the top rope and shit. And then the Americanos come in and just fuck shit up, bro. Because apparently this was a number one contenders match for the IC title. Dom put some calls in. Judgment Day didn't want to help him when he was at the clubhouse earlier in the night, so he put the call into the Americanos. And the Americanos came and fucked shit up, bro, and that was that match. This Dom Judgment Day beef, though, like, I'm not the only person saying this, but and it's nothing new, but, like, can we just, like, fucking get to it, bro?
They have
Like,
they've stretched this out as long as they possibly could. I'm so ready for Finn Balor to do something else, man. I've been
yeah, bro,
ready
like, It's
year for
not.
Finn Balor to do something else. It feels like they're trying to hold on until Liv gets back, and I just don't think it's worth it. I just think it's time to move on. I think for everybody involved, it's just time to move on.
Yeah, it's like there's still so much to do with Liv. Even if you do that, bro, like Finn can decide for himself in kayfabe in the WWE universe, that he is sick of dumb shit and smack the shit out of him, whatever the fuck, whatever they decide to do.
Yeah.
You get me? Or dumb, you know what I mean? Dumb goes behind their back and links up with whoever he's gonna link up with. Um, But like, you still have loads of things for Liv to do when she comes
Yeah.
back. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, there's still the Roxanne element will always still be there. Obviously she was literally like a top star world champion. Like it's not like, oh my god, like Liv's not gonna have anything to do. Like that's never gonna be a situation.
I'm just so ready. I mean, I haven't forgotten about that homecoming episode and Finn coming out and being Finn again, and I'm just like, how do we get that back on the main show? Because man, I'm sorry, but just the energy of him coming out and doing his old entrance and everything, and I'm just like, dude, get him out of that group, man. Enough, man. I feel like Cody, like that montage of him saying enough. Like every
Yeah,
time I see him, it's like, bro, enough, man. Get him out of this group, man.
yeah. I don't know what we're doing. Um, Sheamus and JD McDonough, they had a good match. Sheamus actually lost, but Finn got involved with the shillelagh. It's like he wasn't clean. He wasn't clean in any way. But yeah, that was a good match. Obviously, anytime Sheamus wrestles, it's a good time, bro. That's what he does. Uh, they had a really good match actually. Thinking about it, they had a really good match. But yeah, man. Breaker versus LA Knight, that was pretty decent. Nothing to write home about though, or dive into. Still don't know how I feel. Well, I do know. I don't like how this whole hold up with Braun Breaker and the world title, and like kind of how they've navigated that in kayfabe of Heyman just simply being like, "Yo, just chill," like you don't want to make Adam Pearce upset. Like, what the fuck are we talking about, bro? Like, just, anyway.
And why did we go from Braun being very decisive and attacking Seth on his own to now he's just like, oh, well, I'll do what you say, Heyman. Why? Like, that's not
Didn't
how this
make yeah.
angle heated up. So why are we going in that direction?
I don't. Just
Yeah, very
yeah. I
weird
don't know.
decision to just completely take him out of the world title situation for now. But that's why I have to believe either he's going to interfere at Saturday Night Main Event or something else is going to happen because there's just such an odd decision. I just don't know why
Yeah,
they
it
would do
is,
that.
bro. I don't know. Neither do I, man. Neither do I. Yeah, I'm not liking the hold up and how they turn. I'm sure there was ways they could have done it as well. There's ways they could have done it which I probably would have liked a lot more. Of, like
Yeah,
Braun Breaker not being crowned on like
yeah.
ASAP. But
It's so funny because um, he's managed to get around the kind of the stench of when you can tell that they're earmarking somebody to be the next top guy. I think everybody can tell Brian Breaker is being earmarked. And usually when that happens, the audience sees it and they're just like, we don't like this guy. The opposite is happening here. The audience wants this guy to
yeah, the
get the
fuck with
win.
it,
So
bro.
why not just do it?
It's another reason why the shit that we was talking about earlier just frustrates me, bro. It's like they've got the guys there, and it's not like they're getting middling reactions where it's like,
Yeah.
oh man, we're really rolling the dice and doing something bold if we go with Braun Breaker. No, it's like, no, you're not. It's
Just
pretty straightforward, simple. The fans like him. Like, what are we doing? I don't know, bro. I don't know. They, I don't know what's going on over there, but like we've already spoke about the main event, women's tag titles, Charlotte successfully defending against Bailey and Lyra. Really great match. And as I said on Twitter, this was the best Raw main event since the last time the women main evented. And that was the best Raw main event since the time before that the women main evented Raw. So that's been the theme of at least the past like few months with WWE Raw. And yeah, man, it's kind of just like a signal of the rest of the year, man. I think
I
women's
mean,
wrestling in America has been far, far, far more interesting and better than the men's in the US in
you could
2024.
go
I can't
all
speak. Go
Yeah,
on.
you can go all the way back to April. The women I thought had the best match from WrestleMania weekend.
They
And
did.
I think coming out of that weekend and just the response to a lot of the stuff this year and the way that people are talking about EO, you should be going into WrestleMania next year with some plan to do something big with EO and Rhea. And if you're not, I don't know why.
I don't know what to do with a lot of things that they do. To be honest, I don't know, but the women are killing it, and long may it continue because every time they get the opportunity to main event these shows, and it's probably the same for SmackDown if I look into it
Yeah.
as well. Um, Obviously, there's United States Open Challenger, but a lot of those haven't been main events, have they? But
Yeah.
anyway, like anytime the women get the opportunity in a main event or in a real spot, they absolutely kill it in WWE in 2025. Um, and the best show, WWE's best show of the year, still to this day, for me, it was Evolution comfortably.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
it's like that's just the story of this year, and I guess to use that to segue into what I want to talk about today is Mercedes Moné and Io Sky's Wrestler of the Year cases, because I don't really have a dog in this fight, and I want to just kind of go through it with the people right now. So we're gonna pull up cage match because those are the cliches that we do here. We have no shame about pulling up the cage match just to keep on track of what people have been doing this year. We're not going to be like ranking the match ratings next to each other or anything like that, but just to keep on track of what we're really looking at in terms of their year. Because it's easy to get confused, 24, 25, you know, it's very easy to do these things. So let me pull these things up. Okay. Because like, this let's start with Mercedes. Just briefly talk about it before we, I guess, get into the weeds, get some takes on the chat as well. So, chat, make sure you kind of, even if it's not super chats, just keep us on track. Not even keep us on track. Just let us know what you're thinking as well in terms of their cases. And I'm not saying whoever we decide as the better decide. I'm not even saying we're gonna decide who has a better case. We're just gonna talk about the cases themselves,
Hmm.
and I guess kind of see where they may, you know, where they may fall when it comes to the end of the year. You know, the PWI women's, what is it, 150 or 250 for the women?
250.
The women's 250 comes out I know it's in November, and so probably in like a couple of
Yeah.
weeks.
Yeah.
Um, that's gonna be
It's
coming out
got to be
soon. And
soon.
again, yeah, it's November. I was talking to Lyric about it yesterday, but she didn't. When I asked her, she didn't have the exact date, but she was gonna ask. Uh, But yeah, shout out Lyric because obviously she's a big part of that process, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, just kind of want to man because a lot of people have been I don't know why they were doing this, but a lot of people were comparing them on the timeline and stuff like that. So um, I don't want to compare, you know. We don't compare two bad bitches here, bro. We don't do that at Wrestle Purists. We just enjoy and appreciate the work that these two fantastic women have put in this year. You know, that's what we're gonna do here. Um, I think Mercedes' year actually started kind of quiet, and there was kind of like subtle criticisms, especially around kind of like her creative, you know,
Hmm.
at the start of the year. Like I said, it didn't really start that great. I think she actually opened the year winning the Rev Pro Undisputed British Women's title
Yeah. That was
from
the
Mina
Russell
Shirakawa.
Dynasty match.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought that was
So
a pretty good
she's
match.
beat Mina a few times this year, hasn't she? um,
Yeah, I hope that's leading somewhere. I don't.
I don't know, man. I think it's just Mina's just been the person in the place at the time to hold the
Well,
pin, you know.
well, if you know your lore here, Mina has wanted that match for a long time. When Mercedes was on that hiatus from WWE, and she went to that trip to Japan, Mina was one of the wrestlers she met over there, and that led to this whole thing of when we get a chance, we want to wrestle. And so, getting that chance to wrestle for the first time in the Tokyo Dome, that was a big thing. And then every chance Mina has gotten because she lost that match to make it up is I want to beat you, which is kind of Mina's story, even in Stardom, of her being second up and not getting the big win. That's why I would hope this is leading to Mina eventually beating her, because otherwise, like, uh, I don't
Mm,
know.
I Hopefully, but I wouldn't be too like I said. I do think there is just an element of like Mina just happened to be in the right place at the right time to eat a pin in these cases. You know, 'cause it's like you have the Wrestle Dynasty match, and they've wrestled at least 3 times this year. You know, because
Yeah, so
There was a Dynamite match which I remember seeing, and
yeah,
then there
so
was obviously the match more recently on Wrestle Dream.
yeah,
And
so
obviously
they had
Mercedes has won every single one, obviously.
yes, they had the Wrestle Dynasty match. Then they had that match for the New Japan Strong Women's Championship. That was the triple threat where Azumi won. Remember?
Oh, there's that as well. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
Resurgence. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and so it was kind of like it's kind of been like she's been circling around Mercedes all this year. Like when she had the chance to beat Mercedes for the New Japan Strong Women's Championship, Azumi snuck in and picked up the win instead. And so I do think that there's a story here, and that's it's funny enough. That's why I predicted coming into Russell Dream when everybody else was like, "Oh, it's going to be Shuri and all these other interesting options." I was like, "I think there's a chance it could be Mina because the story is that Mina still wants to get that win over Mercedes, and so I kind of assumed coming into the pay per view, guys, it could be Mina."
I feel like there's not. That's not. It'd been. I wouldn't be mad at it, sort of thing. It's not even that's. It's just more just like I feel like that isn't something that I guess AEW are like trying to tell. You know.
Yeah, maybe, but yeah, I think it would suck if they don't capitalize on that in some way.
I mean.
In the same way that I think it would suck if they don't go back to Willow versus Mercedes at some point.
Oh yeah, that'd be brutal. That would be
Yeah.
completely brutal. But yeah, like I started the year kind of quiet-ish. You know, like she has a Wrestle Dynasty match. She wins a new title there,
Mm-hmm.
which is kind of the theme of
Two
Mercedes
belts.
this year. You know, um, she wrestles Yuka in January, and then we get the Harley Cameron match in Australia,
Yes.
which I thought she did a pretty good job with, all things considered, where Harley Cameron is at. You know, and of course, just we also have to kind of talk about like how much that build connected with people and how much people got behind Harley and how people got into kind of
People wanted Harley to
their
win.
little thing. Yeah, so I mean, it's, like people were into that stuff, bro. So yeah, like that was kind of. I want to say it definitely wasn't like her best match of the start of the year, but it was probably like the thing that people will remember. You know, it's like the Harley stuff and leading to the Australia match and blah 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 blah. Because it's like her first quarter, bro. Like I said, it's like we got that Indy Hartwell match at House of Glory.
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro. You know, um, she wrestled Billy Starks, which I remember being pretty decent. Robin Renegade on Collision.
Yeah.
Uh,
Got that very
and
good
then of
Athena
course,
match in April.
yeah. Then
Right?
then I was gonna say then we get to the Owen Hart Foundation, which okay, she wrestles Julia Hart in the first round. Didn't need that, but we get that Athena match, which was great. You know, and we're well into April now. Yeah, like she's doing like a couple tags. Defeats Kanji at Rev Pro. The freeway that you mentioned earlier with Mina and Azumi. What else we got? The final with Jamie, the Owen final with Jamie is great.
Really good
Probably
match.
the best match we've mentioned so far, in my opinion. I thought it was better than the Athena match for whatever it's worth. Um,
Really.
I thought I thought the Athena match was a really good, great match, and I wouldn't say it disappointed me or under delivered, but I was surprised just how highly most people were rating it coming out of it.
Yeah.
Like I was seeing like match of the year contender shouts and shit, and I know it
Yeah.
was only April at this point. I was kind of like, I'm not seeing that. Like, I'm not seeing that at all.
I thought it was a really good
Um,
match.
it was a really good match. Is what I'm saying. It was a really, really good match. I think the Jamie match was better. Jamie's a big match wrestler though, bro. I've felt that way for a hot minute, you know, and that's kind of why I think her return. Although yeah, she wasn't thrusted into the huge like positions as soon as she came back and was given like straight back into the world title and stuff like that. But and people have complained about her booking as well. But I do think like
I
Jamie, you get the bit. Even you've seen it before she went down injured, bro. You put Jamie in these big matches, bro. Like she's showing up. Like
yeah,
she's showing
I
up. That's big match Jamie, bro. I'm telling you.
I just said this when we reviewed Wrestle Dream, but my hot take is that Jamie Hayter is in a much better place this year than she was as champion because like she has an identity now. She has her own character. Before it was just like the Brit stuff. How do we get to the Brit match? Like Brit still felt like she had the spotlight on her and Jamie was standing next to her with the belt. Now it feels like Jamie is her own person.
Yeah. Before all she really had was like Hater hits hard. You know.
Yeah.
That's kind of she was a pretty British girl that whacked people really hard and was
Yeah.
Britt Baker's friend, and she had
Yeah.
really good matches, so she won the title. And like you said, I feel like she's got more of an identity now. Um, but yeah, so okay, so the Owen Hart Foundation tournament, Mercedes, she does her thing in that. And then coming out of that, she wins a title in what fucking country is this? The EWA Championship. What country is this? Is this the one from like Poland or some shit?
Yeah. She's got one in like Vienna.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like she's got one. I'm sure she's got a Polish one.
Yeah.
Like she's got a few like European titles in it. So that's one of them. So that's another title. Um, what else? She won the CMLL Women's World Title from Zeuxis
Yes.
as well.
Yep.
Uh, the La Catalina match was pretty good on Fantastica Mania Mexico. That was pretty good. She wrestles Mina on Dynamite. The Tony match at All In was great as
Yeah.
well. Rev Pro again. She's done a few Rev Pro dates this year. I know she's champion now, but she's done like 4, 5. She's done like 5 Rev Pro dates this year, bro. No wonder. What's his name again? The owner, bro. The black guy, man.
It's so funny because the owner of these promotions are like, "Hey, we like working with her," and
Yeah,
all these
exactly.
people on the internet are like, "What is this really doing for this indie promotion?" And he's just been like, "Hey, we're doing pretty good business over here. I don't know what you're talking about."
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, no wonder he's bigging her up all the time, bro. Because he's shouted her out every time she does a date. I think, you know what I mean. Like, I'm looking at it now. She's rather than like 5 Rev Pro dates, bro. So shout out to her, man. Like, and that's part of her case as well. Is like, bro, the miles she's putting in, and it like she's a
Yeah.
real like she's doing like the whole like real world champion gimmick to an
Yeah,
extent. You
I
know what I mean?
even if you just look at Wrestle Dream weekend, she worked like 3 dates that weekend. She worked.
Yeah.
She's been booked and busy.
She's on job, bro. That's what I'm saying. She's putting in the miles, bro. And like when we were talking about Cody and Roman, I respect people putting them miles, bro. It's not easy. Them travels, GMB. Notice every Damian Priest just drag ever since. No, every D Priest just drag ever since JD split. What are you trying to say? Can you try that again?
I think he means every priest. feud.
Every Damian Priest feud. Yes.
But I don't think that's because of the split. I think it's because it doesn't seem like they know what his direction is since he dropped the world title. It's kind of felt like he's been just like he's been kind of languishing.
When it comes to Priest, yeah, I think him in the Judgment Day as like the main male guy in the Judgment Day, yeah, like that's where he should be in terms of like pecking order and stuff like that. Like that's obviously Judgment Day. They've kind of dropped in the pecking order without Damien and Rhea, but like say like where they were in terms of like. Like a main heel group. Like I don't think Priest should have ever left. Obviously, with the story they told, that kind of obviously led to that with Damien and Rhea, But Rhea less so. But for Damien, it's just like I just think that was the spot for him now, and it's like obviously they've done the whole like he's a world champion, and they've done like the whole like top guy, but it's just there's nothing against him in it because like I actually think Damien Priest is good, and he like, you know what I mean. He can put a
Yeah.
shift in, bro. Like I like his in ring. He can cut a somewhat decent promo. He's got a decent look. He's big. um, he's different. Like I like Damien Priest, but in the position that WWE tries to tell me that he's in, I just think it's fraudulent, bro. I don't see him as like a world champion and that. And I wasn't super against him having that reign because of like how much of a presence he was all over the TV, and kind of like he was a big part of like he was like a glue of Raw for like a year and change. You know what I'm saying? So I could see the rationale of like, yeah, let's give him a reign, bro. Fuck it. Like it helps us tell the Punk and Drew story. Fuck it. Let's just give Priest a reign. But
Yeah.
that reign ended up going for so long. It's like, it's SummerSlam. You're trying to put him toe to toe with Big Gunther, bro. I can't
Yeah.
buy it. I can't buy that, bro. I just can't. And
I think
anytime he was across somebody like super levels, bro, I was just like, Priest can't chat to this guy, bro. Like it's just.
Yeah.
It's not where someone said he's a Rikishi level star. I can kind of hear what he's saying.
I think that it's clear they wanted to reward him for
Yes.
like the Bad Bunny match and just how much he helped in that time period. And I get it. He had a good Money in the Bank cash in at WrestleMania. I think he came out of the Judgment Day more over than he entered in with. So I think overall it worked out for him. But like I said, I think once he lost the world title, they didn't quite know where to go with him, and I think it's been apparent since then. He's one of
I
those
don't
guys.
know.
He should have just stayed on Raw. I don't think he should have moved to SmackDown.
Well, yeah,
I,
bro. Say that about anybody who's on SmackDown. To be fair, but yeah.
I mean, the only guy I could think of that it really worked out for was Sammy. Sammy moving to SmackDown ultimately worked out for him because he got the United States Championship.
Yeah,
Run.
well, we'll see how that plays out now, in it, Phil, because he ain't got that title no more. And he's now on SmackDown, and he's on SmackDown with no open challenge now. So let's see how it plays out, bro.
He's still tentatively my pick to win the Rumble. I think that they were just
Yeah.
putting him on another channel until they were ready to go back to the stuff with Rollins. But now that Rollins is gone, I don't know. I don't know.
Alright, so okay, where was we? Mercedes, and we was up to All In Texas. I think Mercedes really starts to hit a stride around about All In, and if you want to call that the jump off point, because it's like boom, Tony Storm match, that's great. She does a Rev Pro date, she does a PTW date, which is probably the Austria one, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's tagging with Athena against Windsor and Storm. She wins another Rev Pro title. She defeats Alex Windsor, Bozilla, Persephone, and Forbidden Door. That was a good time, I guess. It was alright. Alex Windsor match on Dynamite was really good. The match with Riho was really good. The match with Persephone recently was really good. The match with Mina on Wrestle Dream was quite good. It's like I said with Mercedes, it's not necessarily like how high her peaks have been. I don't think it's more so kind of her the amount of output, the all the different promotions and different challenges, the variety of everything that she's doing, and also maintaining. Even though she hasn't had a match this year where I'd say that is the best Mercedes / Sasha Banks match of all time, she's done a lot of good shit, and a level besides like what the fucking Indy Hartwell match, which can be forgiven.
I still haven't actually seen that match.
You're okay, bro. You good? Yeah, you good. It's all good, bro. It's all good. You're nice. You've got a good enough scope of what Mercedes has been. You get me?
Yeah. I think the argument for Mercedes that it's hard to get past is that if any male wrestler was wrestling as much as she is, doing the amount of dates that she has, that has shown up in the amount of promotions that she has the amount of accolades that she had this year, there'd be no argument that they are the wrestler of the year. And I think, like, yeah, EO has had the big matches. EO has had probably better matches. She's had better peaks, but like just considering how much business has been done around Mercedes, I don't even think it's close.
Yeah, she's wrestled. She's wrestled 30. She's wrestled 35 matches in 2025, and you have to consider that this is a woman that does not work house shows at the other promotion.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
basically, every match she wrestles is a title match that goes at least like 12, 15, 20 minutes and shit, you know? So,
yeah, I mean, just like considering like wrestling at the Dome this year, Arena Mexico, um, also getting the Globe Life match for All In, like some of the big moments she's had as a champion, as multiple champions. Like I said, I just don't think it's close. The only thing that EO really has on her is wrestling at WrestleMania. Um, but like I said, in terms of like the rest of the business she's done, I don't think it's that close.
the variety is big, man. The variety is big. Not even just the volume, the variety counts a lot. Not nobody's got the variety. It's like Kale says it. Even though we are just talking about EO and Mercedes, it's like volume wise. Obviously, it gets blown out of the water by Suri and Kamitani. It's like yeah, it does, but it's like they have nowhere near the same variety. You know,
No,
Suri has a bit more variety because she's obviously freelance. You know, and she can kind of do what she wants when she wants, work who she wants, where she wants. You know. But
yeah,
like Mercedes has wrestled in fucking Poland and shit, bro. Like it's
yeah.
just a
I,
different. There's no one doing this.
yeah,
You
I
know.
just don't think that anybody else. Like, yeah, you can argue, like, in ring, Saya Kamitani has had a better year than her, but in terms of like the reach, I don't think there's much of an argument in terms of like the reach and impact on multiple promotions that Mercedes has had this year.
The variety is big, man. So say yeah, because like Say's like I said, I'm not even here to talk like the Joshi scene or even in Mexico and the luchadoras and stuff like that. I'm just talking well, we're just talking EO and Mercedes, but it's like Mercedes is the variety, bro. I keep saying it, but it's just like she's done fucking 5 Rev Pro dates, bro. Like, what are we talking about?
I mean, she's wrestled in multiple countries this year. Like, again, if this was a male wrestler that's holding this amount of championships, that has such wrestling in this amount of continents in one year, I don't think we would be really having that much of a debate.
Well, of course, with Mercedes as well, to give a balanced look at her case, we have been missing like a big like storyline, you
Sure,
know, and
absolutely.
something because it's not all about the matches, people. You know, especially the way I look at things. Some people may look at it as just like comparing matches. It's all about kind of like peaks they've reached as popularity throughout the year, how invested people have been in certain stories, and I think the only thing Mercedes has really had in regards to that is the Harley stuff, man.
I
People were
would say
really into that.
The Tony stuff. I think the Tony.
Well, yeah, but wasn't that just more just like it's Tony Mercedes? Like, do you know what I mean? Rather than it being something where people are like, just like authentically just invested into a story that they're actually telling, if that makes sense. Rather than just like, oh, Tony versus Mercedes. Like, oh, Tony might actually drop the belt because Mercedes don't lose. Like, that was basically the whole conversation, you know. Like, so I'm sure it was definitely more hyped and had more meat to it than a lot of the stuff she's done this year. And I would say
Yeah.
it's definitely one of the outliers. But I think when we get to like the end of the year, we'll talk about the match and how it was the right decision for Tony to win the match and stuff like that. But I don't think people are really going to be talking about kind of like the angles and like the story they were telling. Whereas like with Harley, I think that will stick with people. And I could
I,
be wrong in it. I could be completely wrong, and you could be completely right in it. But
yeah. I personally think the build to the match with Tony was better. I think, of course, the match with Tony was better. It felt like a big marquee match, like it was
it
supposed
did,
to.
it did.
Um, but yeah, I don't. I agree. I don't think she's had the big feud or storyline this year that
Yeah, and
she's
that's
really
kind of
had
the
a
thing,
chance
isn't
to.
it?
Yeah.
It's like even down like creatively is kind of where it gets kind of like choppy waters because it's kind of like even some of the segments, bro. Like she'll have these segments, and there'll just be nothing really to them, you know.
Hmm.
And it's just kind of like, you know, like I said, this is where it gets a bit choppy with Mercedes. Like we, you know, what I mean, we've showered all the
Were
praise.
Were
We've
you
kind
one
of
of the
built.
people that did not like the puppet segment last week?
Oh yeah, I thought it was garbage. But it was.
I
But if the idea was, oh, we're just doing like, you know, we're just doing a segment to kind of like get one over from Mercedes, and obviously it worked in that sense, and like the reveal and the people pop for it, and it wasn't like wrestle crap. But I don't need to see Mercedes like going back and forth with a fucking puppet for a couple minutes, and like, and also like from I was saying this with on my member show with Joe, bro. Like part of it for me was like Mercedes has 12 belts, bro. Like
Yes.
like she's genuine. Like this isn't like some bullshit gimmick. Like, do you know what I mean? Like she's genuinely the champion of fucking 12 different.
Yeah.
No, she's not, maybe not 12 different promotions because some different titles and blah 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 blah. But like she's got 12 belts, bro. That's my point. She's making history, significant history. You know, and you drop the graphic and it's like Mercedes 12 belt total celebration. And I'm not saying Stat and Harley couldn't have rained on her parade, but at least let her come out and fucking talk her shit a little bit. Even if it was just your typical Mercedes promo, you get me? Just let her come out, and even if she gets cut off a minute in, like let her at least like attempt, like at least do the celebration, and it like because it is a significant thing and it should actually be celebrated. Now you can call me a mark and say, bro, it's just kayfabe. Do you know what I mean? It's like she hasn't actually won a title like a Booker's pull it on her. You know what I mean? But it's just like, bro, that's something worth doing. Like a, you know, a historic celebratory segment for. Like let her talk her shit a little bit and then get into your commotion. You get me? So that's
I
kind of.
personally like the segment.
I know,
I
I know.
personally like the
It's cool.
segment, and I personally think that like just the idea of her holding 12 belts. I know what you're saying. There's significance to it. There's history to it, kayfabe wise. But everything around it is inherently silly. Like her coming up in the big Rolls Royce, sitting on the windshield of it, and she's got all of the guys standing around it in lines with her belts. It's all silly. Like everything about it is
Yeah, it's
silly.
gas.
Like her
Mm-hmm.
coming out with like the line of guys on both sides of the ramp with her belts, and she's coming
Yeah,
down getting this big
gas.
procession and saying how, oh, it's all big history. I think I think the point of all of this is like she is continuing to gas herself up, and everybody around her is like, well, wait a minute. I'm the champion here. I'm the world champion. If you're Statlander, you got to be looking around like, no, I'm champion here. Well, you want an interim belt at the pay per view? I'm the champion. And yeah, you beat me twice, but that was last year. This is different. And so I didn't mind it. I thought that she's done so many of these celebration segments where she just comes out and stands out there with some balloons or something, and she just gives us the usual routine of look how great I am, look how many belts I have, and then she just goes backstage and nothing happened. At least something happened here. At least some
Yeah.
storylines were advanced. Um, at
Yeah,
least it,
I wouldn't have done what you just said of the same old of just like just have her out there say I'm good and just fucking
yeah,
go
because
back like
we've seen that so many times, and it's just like I didn't really care for that because nothing was accomplished with that. At least this led to something. This built to the first round match of the tag team tournament with Willow and Harley,
hmm
and this is more built to the match of Full Gear. So at least something happened here, and it wasn't just her doing the usual. I made history again. Look at all my accolades.
I just
Yeah,
wanted I guess what I'm saying I wanted both, but obviously not the usual, but in the sense of like I did want her to go out there and talk her shit and obviously make it a bit different than the cliche, and then you have your Stat and your Harley, and I probably wouldn't have done the puppet, but I would have done something different. You know what I mean? Or
maybe
even if
if
you use the puppet, yeah, use the puppet, but don't do the shit where it's like Mercedes is like going back and forth with it for like a fucking minute, bro.
But see,
Like, that was just
I never felt like she was going back and forth with the puppet because she comes straight out and she says, "Harley, I'm sick of you," and it's really just Harley being silly and not coming up from under the table until Mercedes forces her from under the table. Um, I didn't, and even just the idea of her being that upset and sitting there talking to Harley while she's still under the table. I think the bit here is, again, she keeps trying to tell us how great she is. And the second anybody mocks her, it's just like, how dare you? It's like she's so clearly gotten to every time somebody mocks her greatness or mocks her legacy, because she's kind of clinched to it like, this is everything to me. And so I think that that was kind of the point. Any other time, she probably wouldn't have even gotten thrown off her game, but she was so easily distracted by this puppet because she's made everything into building up this legacy.
Hey man, you like the puppet, okay?
No, it's not even so much I like the puppet. I just like that we're actually getting like
Nah, I hear you,
advancement
but
for
I'm
this
fucking
character
around.
and this story because we've gotten so little of it.
I hear you. I'm just fucking around. I'm just fucking
But
around.
I and the puppet stuff is funny because I do, and I've said this with Reg when we talked about it on Grapsity. I do think at some point Mercedes and Harley are going to end up in a tag team. There's a lot here that's similar to the Rock and Mankind stuff where the Rock
Mm,
is very annoyed by Mankind. He keeps keep doing things until they reluctantly end up in a tag team together.
yeah, I think that's yeah. I like the Mankind show. Um, very reminiscent when you actually sit and think about it. But um, but yeah, in terms of Mercedes, yeah, you know, she really starts to hit a stride. Like she has some of her better matches towards and like from like the summer onwards, and also it's like she really starts to like collect the titles and get close to the record and eventually break it, like she recently has. You know, 10 belts money to 11 belts money to 12 belts money in like the space of I don't know, like 9 days or something. You know, well, I'm looking at it here. Uh, yeah, the Alice Inc., who she faced in Denmark or wherever the fuck that was. Yeah, the Alice Inc. girl. She beat her, and then she won at Wrestle Dream against Mina, and then she just beat Jodie Fret. So yeah, she
Yeah.
done ten. She done 10, 11, 12 in the space of 9 days, bro. In 3 different countries:
Yeah.
Canada, USA, and Denmark.
I think the crazy thing about it as well, when you see like the reception to some of these matches and like you see the women that she's wrestling and they're like in tears after the match and they're like, this was my dream opponent. And like, I feel like this was like such a like career highlight for me to be able to wrestle her. And again, like the impact that she's had this year, on so many wrestlers, on so many promotions. I mean, yeah, you can argue the Harley stuff is hokey, but it's pretty clear that Mercedes likes working with Harley and like there's a reason why this has happened. It's kind of like the Maxine and Becky stuff, like where you can see that
Mm.
Becky sees something in Maxine and so she wants to keep giving her chances to showcase what she's good at. And I think in that way, Mercedes has done a lot to showcase women's wrestling this year to help put more eyes on other women.
Yeah, she sold tickets. I guess, kind of to summarise Mercedes' case in I don't know, a couple of sentences, it would be um, although she hasn't reached the absolute peaks that we know she absolutely is capable of, and she hasn't had one of the all-time great Mercedes matches this year yet,
Mhm.
she has maintained a very strong and high level. Her output has been very, very impressive, especially when you consider the absolute insane variety and different countries she's wrestled in. And in these different countries she's wrestled in, she's also drew well for all these independent promotions to the point where multiple foreign promoters have came out and put her over or
Yeah.
clapped back at people trying to talk shit on her name, and like this is how much these promoters are loving her. She's selling tickets, bro. When do promoters ever do this shit, you know? So she's selling tickets. She's fulfilling some of these young wrestlers' dreams. She's you know, it's all it's more. It's the main part is, of course, on the plus side is, you know, the variety, the output, and of course the titles that she's been collecting on the way. You know, of course, that's like the theme of her year. You know, and making history, which of course also plays all into it. But obviously on the con side, she hasn't really had like that really captivating big story that we've all been waiting for as fans of
Yeah.
hers. And I guess if you want to use it as a con, even though she's maintained a super great level, she hasn't quite hit like I said, she hasn't had like a top five Mercedes match. Like she hasn't had one of those this year, in my opinion. So,
Yeah.
those are things that I think you can definitely hold against her in terms of like her week to week TV character stuff, and like you want to see better angles, you want to see better creative, or see her dive into something with a bit more depth, or peel some more layers back of her character, or whatever it may be. There's many forms in which that comes, which I think is why you can't ignore it as like a con of her year. But she's
Yeah.
had a very, very historic and great year.
Yeah, I do have faith that the Statlander is going to be the big Mercedes match of the year. Considering their last two matches from last year, I do think that's probably going to be a big, huge
Very
match for her
possible.
this year.
Very possible.
I don't see Statlander losing. I do think Statlander is going to win.
She better
Uh,
win. She fucking better win, bro. Yeah, she better win, man. I'm all in on this on current stat. Her confidence, even her promos, everything. The way she just kind of looks with that belt on her shoulder.
she
I
looks great.
fuck with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mercedes had a great year, but not perfect because it's never perfect, is it? So let's talk
No.
about Io Sky, because Io Sky's also had a very special year, man. So her year starts off, and she's like, she's still damage control at this point, and her actual first match of the year is it's funny actually because her last match of 2024, which is the 30th of December, so fuck it, I'm throwing it in there just to mention, was the Lyra match, which she lost, which I still remember from Raw. That was a very good match.
Man, talk about who had a strong year. I don't think it's said enough about the year Lyra had. Like,
Hey man, Lyra could very much be the another person. Well, we could talk about Lyra. We could talk about fucking Saya. We could talk about Sarita. There's obviously other women we could talk about in it, but like I said, I've seen like a lot of conversation around Io and Mercedes, and I just kind of wanted to look at, not like I said, not even compare them, but just kind of like look at their cases. But yeah, so like, Io actually started the year in a tag match with Dakota defeating the Pure Fusion Collective, Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark. Damn. And then, if I remember correctly, she had a very strong showing in the Rumble. If I remember correctly, but obviously, how much can you fucking chalk that up into when it comes to the end of the year? She wrestled Liv Morgan and was in the Judgment Day Vortex for a while.
yeah,
And then that eventually leads to her first big moment of the year.
yeah.
Which
I
is,
thought the Liv match at on Saturday Night Main Event was better than I expected it to be.
yeah, it was. I liked the Liv match.
Yeah.
It was good. It was definitely good. She had one with Raw, the one that they have first is the Elimination Chamber qualifier match, which Liv wins via DQ. Remember, everybody was really mad about that. And I remember even that being I even remember that being a decent match of the DQ. You know?
And
So she's kind of like floating in like the Raw. People are getting scared and that, like, what's EO doing at Mania? Do you know what I mean? Because she's kind of like, she's with Judgment Day, she's the Pure Fusion Collective and that, like, do you know what I mean? She lost to Liv in the Elimination Chamber qualifying. And then all that gets completely eradicated when she faces the Eradicator, Rhea Ripley, in a Raw title match just before WrestleMania. And EO surprised a lot of people when she fucking won the match, bro. She beat Rhea Ripley, becomes the women's world champion. That was the show that caused me to do a victory lap stream by myself. Literally, there's like a thumbnail and it's like EO with the belt. It's just victory lap. Like that's the first ever recipe was victory lap, I think. But yeah, that was a great match as well.
Yeah.
It wasn't just her winning the title. Her and Rhea have great matches. Let's be real. And then they have another match. I think like the next week like a few weeks. I'm looking at it here. What am I even guessing? So like 3 weeks later, they'd run the rematch back with Bianca as the special guest referee. That was a good match, but it ends in a double DQ. And then we get the Mania match, which is, Io, Bianca, Rhea, which was the best match that weekend, hands down, in my opinion. So, even though the very first like month or two of the year didn't start great for her, even though she had some solid showings against Liv and stuff, it don't really like super pick up until we get to like Mania season, like deep into Mania season, and that's when Io kind of emerges as like the one. Do you know what I mean? Because that's by the
Yeah.
end, when it's all said and done, she wins at Mania as well, bro. Like she wins that triple threat, and it was like, wow, this is like Io's really elevated this year. Like, because she was always popular, she was always in the world title picture and stuff like that. But it's like something clicked this year with WWE creatively, I think, and also with her, where it was just like, it's like, nah, we see her on like levels with your Rhea and the Four Horsewomen and your Biancas, so much so that we're gonna have her win actually at Mania, even though she's the one coming in as champion. So she's gone to another level, and then she has the Stephanie match on Raw, in April. That was a great match. Then she goes down to NXT, tags with Jordan. So, bro, it's all coming back to me. Io and Jordan versus Julia and Roxanne. Do you remember that? Did you watch
Yes.
that? That
Yes.
was a really good match as well because fucking obviously look at the names. She wrestles Roxanne on Raw. I'm sure that was a good time, 10 minutes. Then there was the Raw match with Julia and Roxanne versus Io and Rhea. I remember that vividly as well. And then she drops the belt to Naomi in the Evolution Triple Threat, which was also again another really good match.
Yeah, very good match. The only issue I had, like, yeah, great moment, of course, winning the title on Raw. That's kind of Triple H's go-to move as a booker, doing a surprise title change on TV. He's done that a few times this year. Well, I thought that one was perfect. I thought that the way that they led up to it, with everybody worried about how would EO factor into WrestleMania, because she did not end up in the chamber match. As upset as people were, by the way, that Liv won that match, I thought that Liv was one of the MVPs of that chamber match, like surprisingly. Um, but I just hated the way they booked her as champion. I thought that she had a
Yeah, it was
good
very
win.
frustrating.
She had a good moment at WrestleMania as well, like that moment of her parents in the crowd and everything. All of that was awesome, but the reign itself just was so underwhelming, and I was confused why it was so underwhelming because all the lead up to it was so good. But I thought if you just like look at the how it started and how it ended, like, of course, great. Like the cash in and stuff at Evolution, the main event of Evolution, great. But all of like the reign itself just wasn't very good.
Yeah, she weren't wrestling, bro. It was like they didn't want to wrestle her. Then they didn't want her to wrestle too much and lose any novelty. But at the same time, they ended up just doing like nothing. And I'm looking at it right now, and it's like between her winning at Mania, like I know she won the title on Raw a month before or whatever, but between Mania, where she wins that triple threat, where a lot of people didn't think she was going to come out of it with the belt, she wrestles one, two, three, 4 matches before dropping the title in the triple threat, and there's
Yeah,
like 3 months between them. Like that's crazy, bro.
yeah.
Um,
I didn't
so
understand what happened
creatively,
there.
she was definitely let down because like I just read out the match, those 4 matches: Io, Stephanie, Io and Jordan versus Julia and Roxanne, Io versus Roxanne, Io and Rhea versus Julia and Roxanne. They're all 4 very good matches, and it's not like she looks off in them or anything like that. So that's just complete creative failure there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that WWE has booked either of the main champions particularly well this year. I mean, you can get into the clusterfuck that has been Tiffany's reign and having Tiffany wrestle the same two opponents multiple times this year. But I don't think that they've necessarily booked either of the main champions that great.
Yeah, they haven't, and I guess if when look, because obviously we're looking at her year, the thing very much papers over the cracks of what that reign was that she basically immediately goes into this Rhea Io stuff,
Yeah.
which at this point is connected on like a mad level, bro. It's one of the hottest things WWE have done this year. Um, so yeah, it's like she drops the belt, and then it's like Io and Rhea tag. Io and Rhea tag. She wrestled Stephanie again. Guess what? It was great again.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Stole the show at
yeah,
WrestlePalooza. Easily the best match on that card.
that's what they do, bro. What else we got? We got Naomi defeats Io and Rhea at SummerSlam. That was the rematch, just to solidify Naomi. That was another good match. And yeah, all of her, all like the Raw cameos against like, you know, your Roxanne's and your Raquel's and like, because she's wrestled a few of them. Don't get me twisted this year. They've all been very, very good though. She's wrestled Stephanie again, like you just said, the WrestlePalooza match. Because she wrestled her on Raw twice, I think,
Mhm.
once or twice, and then WrestlePalooza match. All three of those were great matches. Um, she wrestled Kyrie on Raw, which was recently, obviously. That was okay. And obviously now we're getting like the Kabuki Warriors tag was very, very good.
Yeah.
They've been running it on the house shows as well because they've done Australia, they've done Japan, um, and then obviously most recently this past weekend, Io versus Mayu, which was I thought fucking great, bro. Very rarely you hear me say this, but it went 26 minutes. That could have pushed that plus 30, bro. Um, they were the match escalated in a way that I was really like invested in, but genuinely think like when they were peaking towards the end, they had like 5 or 6 minutes more to go. Like I think like they had another level to go to, you know,
Yeah.
and even though what we got was very great, 26 minutes, you know what I mean? It was I'm sure it was more than enough match time wise, but yeah, genuinely I think it could have peaked higher. It
Yeah.
felt like they still could have had like they had like another level to go to, but what a match that was, of course. Io just showing up in Marigold and just fucking treated like God, you know, and Mayu literally can't even keep her emotions together. Just like simply looking at her at the press conference just made a fucking breakdown in tears, you know, like, and that always pops me with like when, especially like the modern Japanese stars, because we get to see like whether it was Nakamura going back over to Noah, whether it's Io doing his Marigold shows, it's like the idea of like how proud the Japanese audience gets of like when one of their guys goes over to WWE and becomes like a success, you know, and it's like especially like with like an EO, you know. Asuka has another story because she's an interesting lady, interesting. Uh, she'd had some interesting incidents and stuff, you know. But
Yeah.
especially like Io and like Nakamura, of course, we don't look at Nakamura as
Yeah.
like, oh my god, what an instant and obvious success. But bro, he's won Rumbles and shit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
multiple world title feuds and matches. He's been all over pay per views. He's been in the company for time now. Like, it's Nakamura, bro. You know, and obviously the Japanese fans probably remember him a certain way as well. So you know, but when these
Yeah.
people come back, they're super celebrated. You know,
Yeah. I mean,
and
Io
it's always cool to see.
Io's in a special place because for Stardom, she was the ace of that company. Like at
Yeah.
one point, she had multiple belts. Um, I at one point said like before this decade, she was the women's wrestler of the decade because of what she did in Stardom, and um, just like her, just the lore of her and Mayu, and like their time as a tag team and Thunder Rock, and of course like her betraying her and starting Queen's Quest and all the rest of that stuff. That's such a big part of her career before WWE. I get it. I get why like she's received that way over there. Why she means so much to Mayu because they're such a big part of each other's career. Um, but I haven't seen the match yet. But I'm not surprised it was good considering some of their other matches in Stardom. Like
No, it's
they have
great.
such a long, long career, history together.
He's great, man. Like I said, it feels like they could have not like they were saving stuff, but it's like, bro, they could have they could have pushed it further. You get me? Like that, it feels like they had another gear to go to, you know. Um, and like I said, even with that said, it was still a great, great match. Look, it's got a 9.29 on Cage Match,
I
so
mean,
you
yeah,
know.
not shocked at all.
Um, yeah, like I said, I'm not shocked it's that high either. What would I go? I'd probably go like 4.25. I'd probably go, but like on the high end of 4.25. Um, won't call it quite a match of the year contender or anything, but it's I could understand if somebody did. So if that makes sense, like I thought it was a great match. So and KO, I gave it 4.5. KO is he's a connoisseur of these things, of all things EO, all things EO.
Yeah.
So yeah, EO's. I think when you look through just the list of matches, I do think EO's is probably like more impressive in terms of quality of work and the peaks and stuff. But obviously
Yeah.
Mercedes has the variety and stuff like that. And like I said, we're not comparing them anyway. So just to talk EO, when you read it back, EO's had a really good year, man. She's wrestled 31 matches this year if you count the Rumble. 31 matches this year, and I don't think, bro. What's the worst one? Like
Yeah.
none of these are even meh. Like they're all like they're all good, bro. Like maybe like one of the Naomi and Nia Jax tags with Io and Rhea probably weren't amazing or something. Like
Yeah.
he's probably heated as fuck though. He's probably heated as fuck. But
Yeah. Yeah. I
yeah,
think the
man,
strongest part of EO's argument is that most of the pay-per-views she was on this year,
she steals
she
the
was
show.
she was in the best match.
Yeah.
Like I think that easily the women had the best match of WrestleMania weekend, and then
Mhm.
like I said, stole the show at WrestlePalooza. Like it wasn't even close. They had the best match on that show. Um,
Mhm.
and then Evolution had the main event of a very crowded weekend of wrestling, and their match stood out.
Yeah, it did, bro. 100%. They Yeah, she's had a great year, and also you got to consider, like I said at the start, in like the first quarter of the year in that Mania season, like she truly did elevate, like
Yeah.
herself. Like we can talk about in the same way that we talked about Mercedes, like elevating indie promotions or throwing a bone to these indie wrestlers that have always dreamed of her and stuff like that, and all this
Mhm.
and selling tickets and elevating in another way. Io Sky's elevated like herself. you know. Um, and obviously that counts for a lot. We're talking about kind of these end of year things and what her case looks like because she has took it to another level.
Yeah.
Obviously she's won the world title this year as well. She won the world title match at WrestleMania. Um, the matches with Stephanie, so easy to forget so good some of those matches with Roxanne were. The stuff with Rhea and Io picking up so much fucking steam, like
Yeah. Yeah, I thought the
I think,
Clash match was I I know that, everybody came away talking about how much they enjoyed the Cena AJ match, but personally my favorite match from that show was the tag match.
so, bro, I'm more convinced than I was at the start of this, because I was thinking the reason I started thinking about this topic today wasn't just the discourse on the timeline. It was more like, you see, Io, bro. I'm not sure there's anybody in a US promotion right now that I'd put above her as wrestler of the year, man or woman. I swear to God, bro. Like, we
Not
can
even
talk
Bandito?
about, yeah, I was gonna say we can talk about Bandido, but that, bro, is that it? Is that it?
I
Is
mean,
that it, Phil? you know,
Bandito, Takeshita is also in the conversation as well.
Takesha fringes of the conversation as well. But it's like it's Bandido. Is Bandido? Is that what you're throwing up against the EO
I don't
case?
know.
You know what I'm
Bandito's had a
saying?
strong
Like,
year, bro.
no, he has. But I'm
Bro,
saying it's one wrestler, bro. It's one wrestler, and that's all. That's the only wrestler off the top of your head that you can throw at me.
I mean,
It's
like I said,
Bandido. And
I would
even
say
if
Takeshita.
Bandido is above,
I don't know.
I think Io's had a better year than Takeshita, bro. Like, it's really, this
I
is
don't think she's
okay.
had a
This
better
is where
year
I
than
was gonna get.
Bandito. Though.
This
I
is where I get lost in it. This is why I said in the US in it because it's like I've seen a few people talk about their end of year stuff and it's like Mystico's the rest of the year. So I can't talk on that. Yes, I'm aware of Mystico and I've watched a
Yeah,
decent bit of
I think
Mystico, but not to the extent where I can be like, this is how his year's gone and this is how I'd evaluate his year. Like I haven't spoken, but you know,
I mean,
um,
yeah, when you say like only in the US, like that changed the conversation because yeah, some
of
people would
course
say
it takes that
Mystico,
Saya, Saria, Sari,
Sayakatami, of course,
yeah,
Sari.
Bandido.
Um, but yeah, like I don't know. I think people it's crazy because I think people have have kind of underestimated the year that Okada's had as well. Um, I think Okada's
All
had
right, bro.
quietly had a
I
better
like
year than
Okada,
people
man.
say.
Come on, bro.
Like
Come on,
I don't think
man.
people are giving people him the credit for the year he's had. Um,
Listen, the Kenny match is all right. You know. Um,
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 but I wouldn't even.
this
I
is
wouldn't
what I'm
put
saying.
the.
This
I
is what
wouldn't
I'm
put that
saying, though,
match up
Phil.
there.
This is what I'm saying. It's like when I'm sitting there in my chair, I'm rolling a joint, and I'm thinking about 2024. It's been a mad year, and I love this business. So I think I should look back on like who has done what this year. And I'm thinking about EO Score, and I'm seeing the conversation on the top now. I'm thinking about this topic that we're gonna do today, and like I stopped myself halfway, and I'm like, wait a minute, who has a like? Never mind the women, like who in America's better than? And it's like everyone's gonna say Bandido. I get the hardcore fans, because I think it's very easy to kind of forget that we're kind of in a bit of a bubble here, It's like there's Bandido, but I think everyone else, you would have to like follow up with like an explanation, like like with Okada, it's like if you actually look at Okada's year and you like and you like we pull up his cage match now and it's like yeah, if you look into it, yeah, Okada's had a good year, and I'm sure there's a few other people like on the fringes like that. But in terms of like direct people who I'm putting band for band with fucking EO into, I'm not just talking matches, I'm talking like just impact on the fucking industry and how they've elevated themselves and how invested people have been in their stories and stuff. It's like I
Well, I
don't
mean,
even know who I'm putting next. Who
when
can
you
go band for band
when
with
you
EO right
say
now?
storyline, impact, and all that stuff, like Hangman's in that conversation. I
Yes,
think.
GMB nearly
I
said it
think
then.
some people are gonna be mad at me, but when you talk about like overarching storyline for the entire year, John Moxley as well. Like John Moxley is in the conversation.
Mm.
I don't know. Like
Yeah, but all things considered, the start of his year was too dicey. I think, bro. It's like
yeah, but see,
EO and
we
Mercedes,
don't count
both
that time
cases we looked
period
at.
around the Cope match.
We have to though. You get me? We have to. I was just, bro. EO's year started with a pure fusion collective match, bro. Like that. So I ain't giving John Moxley any leeway here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
We
But I mean,
remembering
you
those
have to go all
matches,
the way to
bro.
December to get like some of the EO stuff that wasn't that great. But that's why I'm like, if we're talking about, you can't discount the reign. Like I said, like yeah,
No, no, no,
EO's
no.
had
Of
big
course not.
matches. She's had like match of the year contender matches. But like, I just think the biggest blow against her was that title reign was not good. And
No,
I
I hear
mean,
that. I hear that.
I
But
don't
I
think
think
you can.
she's. Go on, go on, go on.
I don't think you can have the same argument about Mercedes, for example. I think Mercedes TBS title reign has been better. And that might not even be a fair comparison, but it has. It's been a better. Like I think
No,
that,
yeah, of course it has.
and it's not even
Of course
just
it
that
has.
she's now the longest reigning TBS champion. You'd be hard pressed to pick another TBS champion that's more important to the lineage of that belt, other than
Yeah,
Jade.
probably not. Nah, Jade was more like when Jade left AEW, the importance of her reign for that belt and its lineage kind of evaporated with that, Because if it was I guess what the initial plan would have been, what we assume it was of like, Jade has this dominant reign as TBS champion, and then she gets better as she goes along, and then she gets to a point where we can put her in the main scene mix, and she's a world champion. Do you know what I mean? But that never happened, and she left for WWE,
the
and
only,
it's like,
yeah, the only reason I say that though is because that belt was so clearly made for Jade,
yeah,
and
the Jade belt,
it
and
was
it. Do you know
basically
what I
the
mean?
Jade belt. So you can't discount like what that represented for like the first year of its existence.
But yeah, of
Uh,
course, no, of course, reign for reign, but like. There's all the context. Like Mercedes been holding that belt for how long now, and she's had all these defenses, and it's kind of been like the main theme of her year, in
yeah,
terms of like, yeah, it's the belt collecting, but obviously most of her matches in the AEW verse are for the TBS title, So
yeah.
it's like, that's obviously her thing. Whereas it's like EO, it's like, I think she's had higher peaks this year in ring, personally.
Yeah.
And she's also done that in the WWE system, which I don't think should be counted that much because
Yeah. I mean,
Your environment is your environment. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, so. But I do think it's, I guess, just us talking as friends. Like that is impressive
yeah,
to
and I
and
mean,
worth bringing up. You know, so.
I don't want to discount also what Mercedes did for the Owen. Like I think one of the best things they've done with the Owen is changing the stipulation and making it kind of the match that gets you the big match at All In. Um, and now 2 years in a row, I think you've had really good stories building around the Owen winner. And I think like Mercedes running Owen was good. It was really good.
Yeah, man. Robert said Mystical, bro. Again, I said in the US. In the US, my rest of the year probably is. It's Io or Bandido. Like there ain't really anyone else in the conversation for me. To
In
be
the
honest,
US.
like yeah, in the US, like signed to a US promotion, signed to WWE, AEW, basically, because who gives a fuck about anything else when we talk about these things?
Um,
Yeah, I'm gonna Io or Bandido, and it's like you can lean on Bandido because like, bro, he was going fucking mad in the summer. You get me? Like when he was doing like the Mexico loop and that, like he was going
bro,
mad.
two really,
Um,
really good Ring of Honor
and he
title
was
matches.
drawing as well, bro.
Like,
Like he was drawing in Mexico big. Like
yeah,
that's definitely a part of his case as well, 100%. The thing that goes against Io would probably be that like she didn't fill up Sumo Hall on the weekend. You get me? Like she didn't do that.
yeah,
Like, and it's not like she's like someone that you can in WWE that you can put on a graphic like a CM Punk and sell thousands of tickets. Like that does go against her in this sort of stuff, you know. But it's not like she isn't treated like a big deal. She's still a big deal. She just isn't like it's not like she tanks ratings either. It's just not. She don't have noteworthy enough pull to count it as something in this kind of case. You know, when looking at
yeah.
these cases.
But
So
that's why I said the business side of it. I don't know how you can argue against Mercedes. Like I think the business that has been done around Mercedes, I don't think it's particularly close.
oh yeah, if we're putting these two side by side, in terms of anybody else in the industry, it's like in terms of any other women, even just in America. Well, if we just keep it to the US, because that's what I could talk on, and it's like Tony, bro. Tony's had a great year. There's a lot of people who kind of throw her
Yeah.
name into the mix for the rest of the year, and it's like Tony's been phenomenal this year in terms of just popularity, and it's like she's delivered on the matches as well. It's just
Yeah, Tony's
Tony's
had a
great, man.
very strong year as well. I don't like
Tony's
that people
great.
kind of gloss over because people for some
Tony could be
reason,
in this conversation that we're having now instead of EO or Mercedes. Like that could
yeah,
have easily happened, didn't it? You know. So
yeah, absolutely,
shout out to I love Tony. This audience as well. They know I think Tony's special, 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 bro. So definitely wouldn't kind of like
yeah.
discount
I
her.
mean,
But like I said,
I you can have a strong argument for Tony's pay per view matches versus Mercedes pay per view matches this year, and I think that conversation is different than a lot of people would say because like Tony's had some big pay per view matches this year, and she's delivered at pay per views this year.
I guess the one of the main things as well, on top of all the things I've already said about Io's kind of like resume of matches and her performance level this year, which I think has been very high. It's the investment in her as a wrestler, bro, from the fans. Whether it was the build up to WrestleMania and the way people were like, like fucking having panic attacks up and down the timeline about whether Io's gonna make it to Mania or not, or and you could feel like the her popularity like bubbling more and more and bubbling over around that period as well, to the point where she beat Rhea. It was like fucking people were so on board with that. And then when she won again at Mania, people were fucking heavy with that again. Like, and he's like, bro, it's not like she's in the ring with just like your standard top stars. She's in the ring with Rhea Ripley, bro. Like people are cheering for her over Rhea Ripley and that. Like it's
Yeah,
crazy. Do you know what I mean? And then obviously, she has a reign. It's not that great, blah blah blah. But obviously, the fans never lose investment in her. And now she's doing the Rhea EO stuff, which is like I said, one of the hottest things WWE's done all year. So it's like she's had like strong investment from the fans and strong popularity throughout the year, man. And I think that may even be one of the strongest parts of the case, to be honest. It's just how much the WWE universe has fucking fucked with her this year, man. They love her, bro. So
yeah,
she's it's a strong case, man. Mercedes has a very strong one as well, but If you guys can't already tell, I know I said we're not comparing, but you know, I don't have. I'm not confident putting anyone above Io at the minute. You know what I mean? So not even Bandido.
If we're just saying women, I would say this was Mercedes' year, and I think
Oh
she's
yeah,
going to be number one in the PWI. Like, I just with all of the
I
metrics that
agree.
PWI goes by, I don't see Mercedes not being
Yeah,
number one.
yeah, I agree with that. I agree. Like I said, everything I've just said about Io and how highly I think of her year and where I'd rank her in my WPI. Fucking. If you ask me, gun to my head, who do I think will be the PWI number one? I'd probably say Mercedes. Yeah,
Yeah, I
Mercedes.
mean, we don't have to
Tony
get in,
maybe.
but see, I mean,
Tony could. But
Kel-
I don't think EO will be like top three in the PWI. So
really, I think she'll be top three. I don't, because I mean, just look at the men's this year. Cody ended up being number one, and yeah, you can say for you can make an argument for why Cody is number one, but like when you look at the top 10 for the men this year, it doesn't make really that
okay, so
much sense.
boom, the women though, hear me out, Phil. It's PWI, remember. So Mercedes, Tony, Tiffany Stratton.
Yeah,
I can see that being a top three. Whatever
yeah.
order that is, I don't know, but I could see that being a top three. Because
I mean,
Tiffany has only just. Is it? No, no.
if,
Tiffany didn't lose all year, bro. Like, do you
she's
know what I'm
lost
saying?
one match
So,
this year. I think
that's
that
what
I
I'm
can think
saying.
of, and then she's been champion for almost 300 days.
Exactly, bro. And it's just like successful. She's had a lot of defenses as well. To be fair, it's not like
Yeah,
she
I
didn't
mean,
have an EO reign,
she
even
she
though.
beat she beat Big Chaz at WrestleMania. Not a lot of people beat Big Chaz at WrestleMania.
Hey
Ronda
man,
couldn't even beat Big Chaz at WrestleMania.
Ronda got the big boot, bro. That's what Ronda got. Comes with big boot, bro. But
um,
yeah,
and I see a lot of people in our chat are saying like Tiffany over EO. I think in terms of quality, sure, but I'm telling you, the title reign is going to make the difference in that match. I
yeah,
mean, in that list because
fair,
Tiffany
brother.
has had like almost year long reign as champion. She hasn't lost. She's got tons of title defenses, even though you can look through those title defenses and it looks shaky because it's the same few opponents over and over again. But still, like if we're just talking about kayfabe, Tiffany's going to be high on that list.
Yeah, Tiffany's gonna be like right near the top, bro. If PW Inside, no, if Pro Wrestling Illustrated dropped that cover and Tiffany's on the fucking front of it, then I wouldn't be.
Oh no!
I wouldn't agree with it, but I
Oh
wouldn't be
no!
stunned
Oh,
because of
put
what we
that
just
out
said. Like,
there!
bro,
Stop!
she's literally
No!
been undefeated basically all
No!
year as WWE Women's World Champion. You get me? So it's like that's what PW Inside. No, I keep doing that. PWI.
Oh
Bro,
no!
they've done weirder things. Bro, Cody just got number one.
No, that's what I'm saying.
What are we
There,
talking? This is what I'm saying. What are we talking about? You
yeah.
know. And I
I
love
still,
Cody. So,
yeah.
but come
I
on,
still,
you
I
know.
still think Zach not being in the top 10 is one of the most egregious things I've ever seen.
Yeah, it made no sense.
Like
But
that was
whatever.
crazy. But yeah, I agree. Tiffany's probably going to be top three. It's probably going to be the women you named. But I could see EO making the top 10, top three. But EO's definitely going to be a top five. Like I don't see her
Yeah,
being
top
outside of
five. But like I said, I
top
could
five.
see her not finishing top three because of, like I said, Tiffany, Tony, Mercedes. Looking at
Yeah.
how they do their ranking system and shit, it's like, yeah, I could see EO's just missing
Saya's
out.
got to be in there somewhere. I think Saya's got to be probably gonna. That's probably gonna be the top five. The three women you named, and then EO and Saya Kamatani.
Yeah, I could see it. Uh, it's a shame now. Well, it's not a shame. It's obviously a great thing, isn't it? But I was gonna say it was a shame. It was oh fuck, it's shame because you guys know what I mean. But it's almost a shame that Naomi got pregnant when she did, and it because she was on a hell of a run. So
Yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
think she would still be champion, and I would be
yeah. So
interested
do
in like the direction going forward. But yeah, still lighting people up on Twitter. Drew McIntyre thought it was sweet out here. He's been playing Twitter games with Punk all this time. Now you're playing games with a guy that's not responding to you on Twitter. Naomi got time.
I. True. Stephanie's had a good year as well. It's like just looking through kind of like EO's year and seeing how like Stephanie had like popped up a few times. It's like it's
Yeah.
quite. obviously you kind of almost have to think of Stephanie in it because like look how
Yeah,
much of
Stephanie's
a
another one.
success
Strong year.
she's been on the main roster. She was a
Actually,
success in NXT.
how did you think about it? You think Stephanie not couldn't be in the top five? Like when you think of like year to year for their evaluation
Yeah.
period, in that evaluation period, she's been NXT champion, North American champion,
Double
now
champ.
world champion.
Mm-hmm. No,
Yes.
definitely. Yeah, she's gonna rank very strongly, bro.
Yeah.
She's gonna rank very strongly. And yeah, she's getting really popular as well. So hopefully she can kind of get to kind of the levels of your EO and your Rhea's, you know. Well, Rhea's like a completely different fucking universe, isn't it? But like, at least EO, you know, like hopefully she can kind of have an elevation like EO did this year because. And obviously, EO had a lot more credit in the bank with the audience, but I think Stephanie has been taken to so well by the audience that you could really just be like, fuck it. And
Yeah.
she's already world champion, so they already kind of are doing that. So, but yeah, man, EO and Mercedes, like I said, weren't really comparing them. Obviously, it's interesting. I guess it makes it more interesting. You know, I guess it makes it more interesting that Phil leans one way and I lean the other way. You know, but we both have our. We both have our cases, you get me, and they're both strong cases, and they're both, I think, unquestionably should be finishing in the top 3 or 5 of whatever rankings you want to do with the women. And they're probably both top 10 if you do man or woman, do you know what I mean? So, shout out to them, shout out to all the other women, of course, who have had great years. Some of them we just mentioned, like Stephanie, Sari, Saya, and anyone else that I've just missed now, but shout out women, man. It's their year, bro. It is their year, like I keep saying. Oh yeah, quick shout out to the Hardys, bro. You need to watch this, Phil. I know you ain't watched it, but you need to watch it, bro.
Brother,
Just
I saw Dark State and I saw we're still doing Broken Universe in
let, bro,
2025.
bro.
What are we doing?
Just let me put you
What's
on.
going
Just
on?
let me put you on, bro. Just let me put you on. It's. I felt the same way, bro. Like you can ask Carlos or one of our admins on the Twitter page, because obviously there was an overlap in it. So like anytime there's an overlap with like an NXT Pilly and Collision, like we almost do like rock paper scissors. Like okay, who's covering NXT? You know, like, and I was on the NXT duty this past week on the when Collision started, so I missed like the first hour, but yeah, when I was looking at the card, bro, I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, this is the same reaction as you, and it, like, Dark State, Hardys, again, the broken rules, what the fuck? Halloween oh my god, this is gonna be some bullshit, bro. I thought it was gonna be some, like, what did he used to call them, like, the Hardy compound matches or whatever the fuck, bro, where it's, like, all cinematic and that. And you know NXT, like, we know they like to get cinematic and do bullshit, you get me? So I thought, like, oh my god. Expecting the worst, you get me? But nah, bro, they just basically had a no DQ ladder match, fucking car crash, and bro, them Hardy boys love this business, man. Like they were crashing through barricades. They were fucking taking crazy bumps. I think Jeff Hardy went through like 3 different tables. Like they were not fucking around, bro. Jeff you have a family spot, you know, like he got on like the 30-foot ladder. Went through a table. The guy moved. He ate absolute shit. Like, and it's like, bro. And I was just watching it, and it was like 10 minutes in, and I text Rob. I was like, bro, this Hardy's match is actually kind of gas, you know. Why is this Hardy's match gas, bro? What's going on? But yeah, bro, they were just it's what the Hardys do, and it was like a classic Hardy, like just falling off ladders and going through tables and shit, bro. But they were doing it as 50, so it had like that charm to it of like every time Jeff went through a barricade or through a table, you're like, oh, like, and when he came off the top of that ladder, when he did like the big ladder spot, I was like, oh my god, like they're right, bro. They're the legit like. I wouldn't call it a 4. It weren't a 4. But like they had a good fucking match, bro. Like they did what they needed to do out there, and it.
Remember when
Good.
Jeff at one point was like doing the swanton has like caused all this damage on his back. He's gonna change it up. He's gonna switch how he does the swanton. He's gonna do a different bump when he does it now. I'm like, dude, you're still out here going through two tables. Like, what's happening, man? What's going on?
Yo, he loves this. I'm saying, bro. That's what I keep saying. Both of them, though. It's like Matt can barely fucking walk straight, bro. They love this business, though. You know what I'm saying? They want that bag. Um, if Andrew Baydala, good brother, if he's correct, they will be, they'll be having like a proper WWE run, as many people expect anyway. But
I mean,
and yeah, man, he thinks they're gonna be on Saudi Mania. So
Hardys? I wouldn't be
yeah,
surprised.
yeah.
Because what the Saudi shows have been, and like the match you probably could have with the Hardys. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
But yeah, man. Also, I guess from the NXT tier list, since I briefly mentioned it, shout out Tatum Paxley, man. Shout out Tatum Paxley winning the NXT Women's Championship. By the time the match came around, it felt like the only thing that would have been the right thing to do
Yeah.
with that match. And I remember saying on like a late night green stream like fucking 2 or 3 years ago, bro, like I was watching NXT as I was on stream, and I just remember coming out with just like, yo, that Tatum Paxley's putting it together, and everyone just burst out laughing because it was just like out of the blue, like they weren't watching NXT as well. But like I said, I remember thinking like, yo, Tatum Paxley's putting it together, man, like fucking years ago, bro, like when she was in like the first year of a run, you know what I mean? And yeah, she's been floating around doing bullshit for so long. And it's like they fucking fired and released all her friends, and then they were like trying to do that story. They was like trying to turn that into a story where she's all like lonely and lost, and I guess that's kind of resulted in her joining the Cullion and now eventually winning the world title. But it got super spooky for her, and she's always shown good potential, I think. So
Yeah, we did get that culling thing online with that Sean Spears dropped on us where they were doing some spooky, trippy stuff in the forest. I was like, what is this? What?
yeah. Mr. Hink, I don't rate JC at all, bro. JC's a fucking hooper, bro. You need
JC's
to
good.
learn ball. You need to learn ball. It's a good
JC's better
litmus
than
test.
she
JC
gets
Jones.
credit for.
Yeah, JC Jones is a good litmus test, bro. So
She's
I'm gonna
good.
ask people, how much do you rate the JC Jane? And if they go too far with it, I know they're being performative. But if they're like, you know what I'm saying? If they don't rate her, I know that they don't know ball. You get me? JC Jane, she's very good, bro. The finish was great as well. Like when they had what's her name, Izzy Dame with the belt, and then like Tatum ducks it, and like fucking JC just smokes Izzy with a forearm. Yeah, it was good shit, man. So shout out Tatum, shout out the Hardys. They all love this business,
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, Ricky got a defense here. Seems like they're moving forward with Ricky as champion. I don't know what Mr. Iguana did in this match. I don't know what happened because I have not seen the opening match, but I saw a lot of people coming out of this match being out on Mr. Iguana. I was like, what did he do? Why are y'all so mad at him?
I
Why
missed
y'all
it as well. Like I
mad?
said, I missed the start of the show, it's not like I was running to be like, oh, I need to catch up on that, on what Layeska's doing, or whatever his name is, what he calls the lizard thing. Yeah, oh fuck, I forgot to do the pinned poll in the chat. But please like the video, people. I don't want to see the likes on this tank because I forgot to do this one little thing. Please just like the video. If you're in here now, just like the video. You know what I mean? A lot of you already logged into your YouTube account. Just hit that like button. It helps us out. You get me? After we close the show, also leave a comment. Yeah, and all that good stuff. We got a super chat. Leo Fox, $5. Appreciate you as always. Shout out Monty and Phil. Always a great discussion when you two are on the panel. Appreciate you, bro. We're gonna be doing these a lot more frequently. We're gonna try a lockdown this Tuesday spot. So yeah, man, keep fucking with us, and we'll keep trying to do good shit. Speaking of good shit, Phil, what you got planned this week on Grapsody and anything else that you want to plug?
Yeah, we got Rhapsody at its usual time slot, Saturday, noon Eastern, on Fightful's YouTube channel. I don't know. We got we're up against Saturday Night Main Event that same day, so I assume we'll preview that show. Again, I don't know what to expect because got to get at least one title change on this show. I just don't know which one it's gonna be. Probably a women's.
Yeah, it does feel like Jade is. Because if Jade don't win, what's the fucking point? Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's where I'm at
I
with
think that
Jade.
they've been holding off this heel turn for way too long. I personally think she's miscast as a babyface. I think she's much better at the heel.
Yeah, she
And
is. Her attitude is like,
man, she just yeah.
yeah,
I,
she's
I
very
think they should have
brash and shit, you know. So
they should have pulled the trigger on this heel turn a long time ago. And I personally think she should have beaten Tiffany a long time ago. I don't know what they're waiting on. Hopefully this means that Bianca is close to being ready. She's been out a long time with
thank
this
God,
this
bro.
injury. And I mean it's a finger injury, right? It's a broken
Yeah,
finger.
broken finger, but she completely like she broke the like she like cracked a fucking joint and shit as well. Like she really fucked up her finger, man. Well, clearly she's been out for like 6 months, you know. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's like honestly my most anticipated like return happening over the next few months. I hope, bro. If I don't see Bianca Belair in a wrestling ring before fucking the end of 2024, Christmas is cancelled. Nobody
Well,
getting a card from me, you know.
I mean, they could set up a big return in the Rumble. That wouldn't be a terrible thing.
I feel like they're gonna do Live in the Rumble. Um, Obviously they could do both, any, but like, what would you burn both like? Because that's two top stars going back again, man.
I have this I've
Oh
been thinking
no!
this for a while.
Oh
This has
no!
the chance to be one of the best women's rumbles in a long time. It's gonna be in Saudi Arabia. But when you think about a lot of the stuff that they kind of have in motion for this rumble, this could be like one of the best women's rumble in a long time. And
I don't give optimism
this
to that
just the
place anymore.
destination for it is yeah.
Trust. No, we're gonna be coming out in like fucking 3-piece suits and that, bro. Like, it's just
Yeah.
long.
But I mean,
So
you've got so many things that they've got in the mix for it. You've got AJ back, AJ in the women's rumble with this generations of women. You've had
no, it's
Nikki
cool.
back, and Nikki could end up being in the rumble with AJ. You have to assume that this is the year in the rumble to do the big Saraya / Page return with that
Yeah,
crop
like
of
just do
women, the
it, bro.
Divas era.
Yeah, just
Like
do it.
you've got so many things storyline wise you could go into this rumble and do that. This really could be a really good women's rumble. It's just yeah,
Yeah,
disheartening
it'd
where it is.
be. It would also be like kind of nasty if it was like the best women's rumble ever. Like, you know, like it would
But
just be
that
nasty.
but that's why
Um,
it's kind of funny and kind of not, because I do think it has the opportunity to be that. And if it is, they're going to tout that over and over of how this was such a great women's rumble in Saudi Arabia.
Not if I have anything to say about it, Phil.
Nasty work, but
But, but yeah, shout out EO and Mercedes, two just good women, you know. um, yeah, Raw overall, I thought it lacked like real happenings. To be honest, like Phil mentioned early on in the show, it's like we had all this stuff with Braun Break, and it's like the follow up on it. It's just kind of like, well, okay, whatever. But yeah, so Raw kind of was underwhelming, especially considering it was even though the Saturday night main event isn't technically a PLE, it's, before a big event where you're gonna have title matches and stuff, I think the going was pretty weak in that regard. So maybe SmackDown's better, but I would not bet a fucking penny on that. So yeah, again, shout out the women. Shout out Phil for joining me for this afternoon conversation. Shout out all you guys for joining us. Hope you join us next Tuesday. Hope you join the girls tomorrow. Speaking of women's power, a lot on this show. Girls on Graps with Charlie, Lyric, and Anna returns tomorrow in this similar time slot, 3 p.m. Eastern, which is 7 p.m. UK at the moment because our clocks have just recently gone back. So yeah, support the girls, man. Support the girls because yeah, man, that's going to be their weekly show. Anna, Lyric, Charlie. I know you guys fuck with them heavy, so make sure you support them and gas it up, man. And yeah, man, from myself and Phil, we will catch you next time. Peace.